Yes, guys, welcome in. Welcome to the transfer deadline day stream. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. Let me check everything is as it should be on my end. Yes, it is. Hope you guys are keeping well. We will obviously have a few of the other lads here as well later on, and hopefully a couple of special guests as well. But you are good. We're going to obviously look at Wolves' transfer window. It's been pretty successful, to be fair. We'll talk about that quite a little bit today with the guests. Look at the players that Wolves have signed and bought in, and maybe the players that Wolves have missed out on as well. I don't think we'll go right up until the deadline today. We'll probably just do a couple of hours today because it looks like for the first time in a while it's going to be a pretty quiet day. We've had some pretty mental deadline day streams, haven't we? Last time, I think Boubacar Traoré signed right at the end of the stream. Time before, trying to think, we did have quite a few busy streams, to be fair. So hope you guys are all keeping well and keeping well and safe anyway. Let's have a look. Where am I? Right. So how are we? Evening all. Just checking all the sound and everything's all right. Superb window, yeah. I mean, let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section. Start the stream like you would a transfer news video. I wish it was transfer news, to be fair. Let me just double check. We did a poll earlier on Twitter. Good morning from the States. Yo, Colby, how's it going? Yeah, we're gonna have a few people jumping in shortly, Billy. All good. Doopy boy, how are you? So yeah, it's been a busy window for Wolves, but it's been productive, I think, guys. I think obviously Fosun had to strengthen us. Anyway, we've got our first guest of the evening, Mr. George Russell. How you doing, son?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Live from Israel, mate. Loving life.
Live from Tel Aviv. Yeah, tell me about it. No, it's all good. It's all good. Pretty tired, but can't miss a transfer deadline day special, can you?
You never, mate. Never. How's the weather over there? Is it all right, or?
No, it's absolutely shitting it down the whole day.
Oh. There we
yesterday
go.
was all right, to be fair. It was like 20 degrees yesterday. Managed to get up on the rooftop pool and stuff, but I've been in the office today and literally it's just been thunder, lightning, everything. Yeah, it's not great over here. So prefer to be in the UK, to be fair, because it's pretty grim over here.
Yeah, well, at least you had to do some work today and you had to be inside anyway. Enjoyed the pause. What, are you going to a game over there, did you say?
Yeah, so I'm going to the League Cup quarter-final tomorrow. So it's Maccabi Tel Aviv versus a championship side. I've got no idea who it is, but apparently it's they should win pretty comfortably. It's all I know. They should win pretty comfortably.
To be fair though, from all the videos you send me, mate, it looks like there'll just be trouble anyway, whoever they play. So
yeah, I know, ridiculous. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens, and looking forward to it. It'll be an experience anyway. I'll make sure to upload some videos of the game, but as long as I survive and come back in one piece, mate, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I know. Quickly, I was going to see if I could share the screen, if I can. That is the poll that we did earlier on. I'll try and zoom in on it a little bit more on Talking Wolves. We did. How would you rate the transfer window? We had over 4,000 votes and 91% dropping the thumbs up on the window. 7% or just under 8% weren't that bothered, and less than 1%, George, with a thumbs down. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's been a good window for Wolves?
I think on the whole, yeah. I think I've seen a lot of people saying about.
There
we go. I was going to say I look really big then on that screen. Now I think a lot of people have been saying, asking for a number 9, and I think that would be the perfect window if we got a natural number 9 in this window.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just, I think Lopetegui's probably looking at it as like if you get someone in now in January, typically the like short-termism. It's very much like you're getting someone in for a means to an end, and the reality is we've got Raul, Diego, Cunha as well, and I think Lopetegui just thinks we've got enough to be in the league. And I think realistically, if we come 17th or 12th, 13th this season, like I don't really think it matters. Like it's pretty much been a write-off of the season. As long as we stop in the league, it doesn't really matter. And I think with Fabio coming back in the summer, hopefully, fingers crossed he comes back. Like, if you're going to invest the money in a striker, it needs to be a long-term strategy and a long-term sign. And I think it just probably not the right window to go and do it in. I think really.
No, I mean, if Lopetegui wanted a striker or desperately wanted a striker, he would have got one anyway.
It does.
But I think yeah, the summer will be an interesting one. I think it's a better window to shop in. You've obviously got Kalajdzic coming back, Fabio potentially coming back. I think it will be the end of Costa and Jimenez this summer, unless Jimenez dramatically starts putting the ball in the back of the net again. I think it will be the end of his time at Wolves as well. But it'll be interesting. I think I was saying as you came in, I think January is an interesting one because I think it has been a success. I think they backed Lopetegui, but I think the board knew that too anyway, because I think if we went into January and didn't invest, I think everyone would have just been resigned to going down. But obviously the impact of Matt Hobbs as well, George. Obviously Scott Sellers left, was it started December? A lot of people gave Matt Hobbs stick, and I know it's very, very early days, but the communication and the way the club have gone about the transfers so far, it seems like it's a half decent appointment as the new director of football.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Really, it's. I think we've spoken about it on the podcast a little bit, and the fans gave him a little bit of stick with his comments of once we signed Cunha, he was like, "I want to get two more in before January, like before December, the end of December." And I think it was just him being very naive and being a people pleaser, trying to impress fans. And there's no doubt, I think, that he probably was talking to players, and there probably was outside chances of signing people. But I think he's done a cracking job so far. You can only judge on what he's signed, and whether that's the Lopetegui factor, whether that's the Matt Hobbs factor. This has been our best window, in my opinion, since the one that when we come up in the Premier League in terms of quality that we've added to the squad, the playing squad. So, yeah, I think just time now, just see if it gel all on the pitch, and I think it will. Like I say, I think we've got enough, and it has been a bit of a write-off season. And like I say, I think as long as, and maybe I'm being a bit pessimistic, as long as we come 17th or higher this year, I'm not going to be moaning. No, it's just stopping the league, and I think we've got more than enough to do that.
Yeah, we've got some interesting comments coming in. Having a quick look. Mike Evans said, "What's the time frame for Sasa to be back?" Now they're saying towards the end of the season. Now this will be an interesting one when the Wolves register or announce their registered squad, because it's very, very tight on the foreign players at the moment, and there is talk that either Kalajdzic or Chiquinho will be left out of the squad. I think Chiquinho's probably got a better chance of being ready earlier, so he'll probably stay in the squad anyway. But Kalajdzic at the moment, yeah, it's there's a chance that he might be left out of the squad, but it's going to be pretty tight for him towards now and the end of the season anyway. And worth talking about, I don't know if you've watched it yet, George, the Deadline Day series on Sky follows Kalajdzic's move to Wolves pretty closely, and Talking Wolves have a couple of cameos in that as well, so definitely worth watching if you haven't already. A couple of people talking about Fabio Silva, Ethan Ingram from West Brom. That was a very subtle link a week or so ago. It's probably talk for him to get a new contract, but we'll wait and see. Again, that's probably something for the summer if that happens as well. There you go, George. You got a new name, Russ.
Yeah, I'll take it. I've been called more than Russ is okay. Like better than wanker or knobhead. But yeah, I think to answer your question, Rich, I think I would say in my memory anyway, I think it definitely is the best January transfer window. Certainly Fosun era anyway. I think that's fair to say, isn't it? Like it's we knew we needed to strengthen, and we've done that, and we've addressed most of the areas we wanted to strengthen in. Ideally, like you say, number 9, great. Yeah, thanks,
There
Rich.
you go.
Number 9 would be great. I still think we need a little bit of depth at right back as well, if I'm being, really sort of nitpicky. But yeah, in terms of where we have been in previous Januaries, this has been like streets ahead of anything we've done in January previously in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of shouts saying it is our best January window. I'll be wondering if anyone's got any big shouts for any, our best January signing as well. I think at the time, someone like, we had the Afobe deal. I think more recently, obviously, that was right at the depth of the window. I'm trying to think if there's any other big signings. I mean, last January was a bit of a disaster for Wolves because they're in such a great position in the league. Was Chiquinho the only signing that we brought in that whole window?
I think so. I can't remember anyone else.
And that was a bit of a disaster. Isco as well, someone's just mentioned. So he's moved to Union Berlin, fell through. And I'm surprised there was a lot of talk about him possibly joining Wolves at the start of the window, but that's been pretty quiet. A couple of people asking about Neto as well. He's back in some sort of training, but I don't know the time frame. I would expect him possibly to be back within the next month or so. But yeah, well, let's hope we see him again soon. George, let's talk about the new players then that Wolves have signed. Matheus Cunha, obviously you mentioned him earlier as well. Do you think he's the number 9 that is going to fire Wolves to safety with his goals, or do you think he's obviously a quality player, but do you think his creativity and bringing other players into the game is what's going to be key with that signing?
I think that's his strength for sure. I don't think he's going to be, ever going to get you. From what I've seen, it's limited, obviously, in terms of what we've seen so far as a Wolves player. I don't think he's a guy who's going to get you 15, 20 goals a season. I think he'll get you double figures and probably 15 goal contributions if you add assists into that as well. And I think what I've seen, I really like of him. He reminds me a little bit of like Bobby Firmino, a little bit in terms of like a pressing forward. Definitely got quality on the ball. And I think he's going to be someone who links up with our second striker and wingers in this system. I do think naturally what might happen is if we do get our number 9 coming into next season, that you might see Cunha playing off him in a bit of a more traditional number 10 number 10 role, should I say, and playing in and around a striker, which is where I think he'll flourish even more. But I think the state we are at the moment as a club, we probably can't do that in terms of we probably need that extra midfielder because we're not that strong at the back. I think it just gives you a bit more solidity at the back. So I think he's a really good player. Quite like what I've seen so far, and yeah, I think it's been a fantastic deal.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. The club obviously believe in him. 50 million euros, about 45 million quid. It's a lot of money for a club like Wolves, and don't necessarily need to have spent that much on a player that doesn't really, fit desperately what Wolves needed at the time. But let's wait and see. I think there's plenty. It's still very, very early days on him anyway. There's loads of questions. Somebody had mentioned, Phil from the US, don't know the rules for the players. So after the squad list is confirmed, they won't be able to alter it again until obviously the start of next season. So if Kalajdzic is left out but then he's ready again, he still can't play now until next season, unfortunately. So that's why it'll be interesting to see. I think it will give the club a pretty good idea of, or give us a good idea of where the players are as well. Do you think Dawson will play on Saturday? Be interesting. I don't know, Jordan. What do you reckon?
I would play him, and that's only because I'm not a massive fan of Kilman in the back four. And when I woke up this morning seeing all these Tottenham links out of nowhere, 40 million quid, I was thinking, I don't know what Conte's been watching. I think he's far more comfortable in a 5, and I feel like his best form at Wolves was, and I know he's not exactly everyone's favourite fan at the moment, but Conor Cody, giving him orders and sort of dictating him around the pitch a little bit and covering for him. I don't think he's been that good in the back four. I'm a big fan of Collins, as everyone knows, so it's I would be playing Collins and Dawson if I'm honest with you on the weekend.
Be an interesting one against Liverpool as well, because they've got some serious issues at the back. I think I've read Matip and Joe Gomez are going to be playing as their back two. So again, it'll be interesting to see who Lopetegui goes with as that front three, because I think he pretty much admitted that front three that started against City probably won't start again against Liverpool. So we may well see some changes. One of the players that might play in that is Sarabia. I feel for him a little bit because I think this transfer has been overshadowed massively and not spoke about enough, because I think it was announced right before the Liverpool game. It sort of coincided with all the João Gomez stuff. But George, this is a really decent signing, isn't it? Sarabia, for the amount of money we spent as well.
Yeah, it's probably, and again, without you take all the fees out of it, this is probably the marquee signing for us of the window in terms of stature. And he went to the World Cup with Spain. He's been playing at PSG. He obviously had an unbelievable season at Sporting last year as well with his numbers and stuff. And we got him for £4.5 million roughly. So it's I think it's just completely gone under the radar, not just with Wolves fans a little bit because of the money, but even in the wider public of Sarabia signing for Wolves. I think it's such an unbelievable signing. It's definitely that's definitely a Lopetegui signing rather than a Matt Hobbs signing. I don't care if you want to take the credit for Sarabia. Sarabia was never on his list, even if we would have liked him to be. And yeah, I think, I haven't seen enough of him really to say, what I think of him in terms of even outside of in a Wolves shirt, just seeing the stats and stuff. And I'm really excited. I think, the likelihood is we'll probably see Sarabia, Cunha, and probably Podence, I would say, on Saturday.
So, yeah.
I would probably say. And it'll be interesting to see. The only thing that you don't get with that front three is you sort of lose a bit of height. but
Mhm.
we always been far too concerned about what the opposition have got. If they're the best three footballers, best three forwards at the club, play them and let's see
You
what
play
happens.
'em. Yeah,
Yeah, you've got to
exactly.
play them. Yeah, we're in a position to play them.
Well, welcome Finn in now. How are you doing, Finn?
Hi, mate. Sorry for the delay. It's a bit embarrassing that George got himself together in a foreign country quicker than me. But I'm here. Sorry. Hello, everyone. I'm the only one. Where are ties, by the way? I got a lot of stick for that. Was it in the summer?
Oh no, we don't wear it. It's not as busy today, is it? So we don't feel like Jim White today, to be fair. But I just saw your message. I thought it would have been brilliant if we turned up in a tie, shirt and tie. No, we're just going through some of the signings, Finn. So there's been someone said Liam Bagnall there. What about Sasha being back on the grass next week? I've not seen anything about that, unless you're talking about the different type of grass. I'm not sure, but I've not seen anything about that unless I've missed it. Do you think Joe Hodge should have gone out on loan with Gomez in and Booba not far off? I presume. I think if they were talking about Joe Hodge potentially going out, I think Lopetegui's quite a big fan of him, to be fair. But it's interesting that he stayed because you consider Neves, Nunes, Moutinho, João Gomez, Lamina. Possibly Traoré. It's 5 or 6 midfielders in ahead of him. So that's I possibly would have if you could get a top end championship team, or maybe mid table championship team. But I don't. Sometimes that won't come up. Not drinking tonight, Mike. No Fosters or anything like that tonight. So just on the water. I saw, obviously, lads, as well, Chem Campbell yesterday. He went out on loan. First loan away from the club, actually, to Wycombe Wanderers. I saw one or two people moaning that it wasn't a higher caliber team. But, Finn, when you're Wycombe, decent manager in Gareth Ainsworth, top end of League One as well, it doesn't sound a too bad a loan. Go on, take your tie off, son.
Yeah, no, I just saw someone say I look a sight for sore. It was a bit contrasting, I'll agree. So I think it's coming off after all that. I mean, it'll come back out if I don't know if there's a shock move for I don't know.
Yeah, we're waiting for the old. Where is it? The old. I can't even find the song that we were dancing to.
It'll be around my head again if there's a late move. But,
is this
it? But yeah, we'll leave it off for now.
All right, well, we're teasing it. We're teasing it.
Yeah, we're teasing it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Chem Campbell. I've always had a soft spot for Wycombe purely just because of the WWFC thing. Like, literally never watched them play, but purely because we share the initials. It's a nice little move for him, and as you say, we want those loans where. So we want to we've got a loan manager and all that now. Like they're taking loans seriously, and you want teams. Obviously, you don't want to chuck him in. It's better to chuck him in top end of League One almost than bottom end Championship, isn't it? Because he's going to be getting chances or like that freedom in better teams. So yeah, it's probably a good move for him. I just say it's his first loan out, so we'll gauge the level that he's sort of at because there's been a few Premier League appearances in there that Wycombe were keen to say, look, he's played in the Premier League. It'll be good enough for us to sort of get their fans on side. So it's a good move all round. And he was really, when he was coming through 16-17, he was really, really highly rated, wasn't he? And I think that sort of dipped the hypes. Hopefully it can jump back up again because he does look like a really good prospect.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you've been in the same environment for so long as well, he needs different environments. He needs to play more football. I think League One's still a decent enough level, top end. Wycombe have been in the Championship before under Ainsworth, so they're not a bad team. And when you're attacking, winning games, I think that's a good sign for him as well. I think they've lost one of their attacking players as well today to Bristol City, so more chance of him getting some game time. This is an interesting question about the João Gomez announcement. Obviously, there was so much hype towards it, George. Do you think the announcement video lived up to the expectation?
I think they should have done Jogger Benito, Nike in the Manda Centre and got loads of Brazilians running around. They could have got Wagner from X Factor on the bongos as well.
Dudley still.
Yeah, he's from Dudley still. Yeah, I saw him in Merrill not so long ago. I saw him. I thought, God, yeah. But yeah, no, I think you know what? It's sort of tongue in cheek. I think they've done it the most professional way they could. You know what I mean? Sort of without overstepping. So no, I like it. I must say, with all these announcement videos, I just think Burnley at the moment are just Burnley ones just crease me every time at the moment. They did Shrek one. They've done so many.
Gavin Stacey one the other day.
Gavin Stacey one as well was quite funny. Yeah. So no, I think they did a good job all in all. But yeah, I'm just I'm glad we got him anyway. Who's that? Thanks to the love art. Thanks.
Don't get excited, George.
I don't believe you. I don't believe it.
What do
so
you
no,
think,
yeah,
Finn? Sorry, George.
nice one.
Finn, what were your thoughts on it?
What, the video, the Love Art?
Yeah.
He's lost his head here.
Yeah, the video. To be fair, I think whatever they put out, everyone was going to say, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever," and it was really good. But then also, I think the sort of deeper, like it's almost like Easter eggs in films or whatever. When people were saying there was the Beware of the Pitbull one because he was known as the Pitbull in Brazil and little things like that. It's almost got better over time for me. So really happy with that. They've obviously had a few days to get creative with it, and little things like that are really good. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant. But
they always
have
have some Easter eggs in all the announcement videos. So there was a one, was it the Nunes one when they like stepped into the studio when he was sat there? They like stepped into the green room.
They followed him into the green room.
So the song they used it was an Acton Bronson song, and it was identical to the music video because on the music video he like steps into this like green room, and the Walls video was the exact same as that. And then I saw someone else point out on the video yesterday, when they're going through all like the landmarks like London and then New York and stuff, it switches to Brazil, and it's got the music switches, and the music is by a Brazilian artist called João Gomes. The music on it as well. So I reckon it'll be interesting because I don't think people appreciate the Easter eggs. So if someone wants to do videos on Talking Walls every time we have an announcement video to find each Easter egg, that would do quite well, to be fair. That'd be a good TikTok as well. There you go, Finn. Spend your spare time.
Yeah, we could do, to be fair, because I mean the film ones and stuff like that get millions and millions. If we did things you missed and then Easter a big egg. Red circle.
Right, just have to get Josh Power to let us know all of them.
Yeah.
There you go, George. That one's for you, mate.
Yeah,
that's George misses. Yeah. Nigel Lombard, there's some good content on the Walls YouTube and the socials on him over the last month or so, but he's having a really good spell at Plymouth. One of a friend of mine is actually, he's the Plymouth researcher on Football Manager actually. So sounds like he's doing quite well, and I thought League One was quite a big step for him, to be fair, but they're top of the league, I think, at the moment. He's doing really, really well and pretty much looks like a Van Dijk new gen as well. So interesting to see what Walls do with him next season, whether he gets an opportunity in the first team or let's wait and see. Thoughts on bringing Fabio back? I mean, George made it pretty clear that he'd have Fabio back. Finn, what do you think?
I think I'm quite happy with what's happened, to be fair. I think there is the novelty as well of him going to be managed under Ruud van Nistelrooy, and it's going to be like, well, if anyone can coach it into him, and it doesn't work as easy as that. But as I've said in the podcast last time, I think when it comes to the summer, you're going to have a lot of strikers on the books, which is probably why we haven't gone for one this summer, because you're going to have so many to deal with. Like you say, like Sasha might not even be able to be registered for this 6 months. So I'm kind of happy with that. I mean, I think we said, 20 goals and we'll be happy with him at Anderlecht. He was probably on course for that, had 11 halfway through. So he's progressing well. And I think PSV is obviously a higher level. Anderlecht mid-table in their league, and PSV pushing at the top of theirs. Obviously, a lot of losses with Madueke and Gakpo leaving. So if there's a slight decline in their performances, let's not put it down to Fabio. I think they've lost basically their good attackers. So happy for him. Obviously, yeah, they might not be as strong now, but I think that works well all round. And I don't think chucking him in this situation like we had to in the lockdown season where it was proper pressure, we might get relegated. It's not best for a young player like that. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I was about to say, Joe just said as well, Thorgan Hazard as well went to PSV.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
That'd be interesting. Big up to David. £2 donation. Appreciate that, brother. Hope you're keeping well. Where do you think Wolves will finish this season? I'm going to go with a 16th place. George, what do you think?
14th.
Gosh, go on, Finn. Top that.
I don't think I can.
Ooh.
I don't know. See, I was looking at the table and it's like we're just over halfway, aren't we? So you're going to need, 7 wins to get to nearly your 40 mark. That's all I'm looking at. Where we finish.
I think above 40, it'll be very close, in and around 40, this year.
It hasn't been 40 for a long time, has it, really? The actual
I think it'll be like 35.
Yeah. But thinking a little bit more ambitious, I'll go in between you both. I'll sandwich you both.
I beg your pardon.
Not for the first time.
Yeah. sorry, someone said yeah. Joe Hodge again, Tyler. It wouldn't surprise me to see him. I think he'll still be in the match day squads, but you might see him in the occasional under 21 game again. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, a few more. 14th. Medicine School's not feeling it.
Yeah, but we're only
On the
point. We're
grass
only
like
put up.
Sasha.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we're
we're only
not
a point.
far
We're only a point off 14th now, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm
not
just
far
double
away.
checking that. I don't think I'm smoking wacky backy anyway with that.
The Israeli, the strong Israeli stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. Look, Leicester are 14th on 18 points. Wolves are 17th on 17 points. So
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would take 17th.
Yeah. We will have a guest coming in the next 5 minutes or so anyway, but let's quickly look. Someone had mentioned as well. Let me find the comment about Josh David Bentley. He's come out of retirement to join Wolves, apparently. No, Daniel Bentley, I'm sure you mean the goalkeeper. Do you think he's got a chance of pushing into the starting 11 or just a bit of competition for Jose Sarr? Finn, he's played obviously for Bristol City, was their captain. Hadn't played, I don't think, since sort of October time. Obviously, he had the World Cup in between then. What do you think of that signing? Obviously, it's given a chance to Matej Sarkic to go out on loan as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've hardly ever watched him. I remember the name from when Brentford signed him, and obviously that was the start of their sort of Moneyball and data-driven, all of that sort of stuff. So there was clearly something in there. I don't know whether he's better with his feet. I don't know. Obviously, it's at championship level, and Sarr was a player of the season for a Premier League team last year. So whether he's going to be as good, but maybe better competition. Then again, you're saying Sarkic won player of the season for Blues last year, and he only played half the season. So Sarkic was arguably good competition as well at that same level that he was playing at. But yeah, he seems to be one of those young English goalkeepers that promise a lot and maybe hasn't reached that level. But I think, was he 29? And that for a goalkeeper is still a lot of years in him. So maybe he can push on and reach that potential. But I'd probably still stick with Sarr for the next few unless he drops some massive clangers.
Sorry.
She's at university. I think the next game she's going to is Tottenham at home.
Rich will be the first viewer on there, I'm sure.
So yeah, we've had no Jimenez.
There you go.
Upgrade.
A little bit of chat as well.
I don't think Darcy was my sister. I don't think
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
maybe the wrong word, but yeah.
This is an interesting one as well. João Gomes obviously joined. I think Matt Hobbs made it pretty clear in his comments, Jord, as well, that he's a young player, new country, hadn't played properly in like 2 months. So I don't expect him to be a world beater straight away. But I think he'll come on, surely. If he's in the squad on Saturday, he's going to get, because that introduction is going to be amazing, isn't it?
It will be. Like, I mean, we used to like signing these like young overseas players and they go straight to grasshoppers, to be fair. So that's a start in itself that he's going to even be around the match day squad. So I think we'll do well to see 15 minutes out of him. I think it probably just depends on where the game's going a little bit. I think, there's probably with fitness, like say match practice fitness as well, you'd probably say that Lamina and Matinho, Neves, Nunes are going to be ahead of him for this game at least. So, yeah, I think we get 15 minutes max out of them.
Yeah. So, yeah, someone had said, why has he not played? It was their Brazilians off-season, so they've not played there as well.
So how does... Sorry, just to add in a question. How did that work? Do they have the same structure as... Because I'm thinking with Enzo Fernandez, and that's a bit of a sore subject at the moment, but their thing ended in the October, was it? And so are they on like the same schedule as Brazil? Where
they run... I think it's like March to December or something, or March to November or something like that. But the Brazilian, it's just mind blowing how their campaign works. Like, there's so many teams that you could play, and on Football Manager, it's just like, what's going on here? In April to November, their season runs. So. Yeah, it's and then I think they have the Libertadores just after that, if I'm correct. So it's very similar to how the Champions League runs anyway. So get your Gomez chance in. I mean, there's been a big talk about the atmosphere as well. So let's see. We think you would appreciate the new video for the Bournemouth signing if you've not seen. Who have they signed? I'll have to have a look at that after as well.
They were signing that Zubarani, weren't they? Ukrainian centre half, but I haven't looked at the video.
No, well, I'll
Funny
give it a
enough,
watch.
I've had a WhatsApp about, with a link to Bournemouth off one of my mates.
Oh, right.
So it's obviously something. Yeah,
Well, you had some exclusive news for us then as well.
I'm
No,
not in the
have you got lightning outside, Jordan? I keep seeing a flash.
Yeah,
Is that how
it's
bad it
literally
is?
been like, yeah, it's proper bad. Yeah, literally the sea is like here as well, so it's like, yeah, I'm all
Can't
right.
hear it, to be fair.
There's no,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not in trouble. I'm not near the border of like, I'm
Yeah.
not near Palestine and all that. It's fine. I'm fine where
Well,
I'm.
someone on the other side of the league taking photos of you. Yeah. Do you think we'll ever deal with Flamengo or Leon again for transfers in the future? I mean, it was a little bit of a disaster. I think the Leon director saved himself a little bit with a tweet afterwards, but I think Wolves will be very. We got messed about with who was the one that Marquinhos played for as well. We got messed about with them a little bit.
He's just gone on loan to the Championship, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's gone to Norwich, yeah.
Who did he play for though? Before that wasn't Flamengo as well, was it?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
No, I can't remember. I'm sure someone will mention it in the comments. Right, let's bring in our next guest anyway, Mr. Liam Keane. How are you, Liam?
Hi, gents. You all good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. All good. Thanks for joining us again, Liam. Last time you were on, I think you had we had exclusive news that Boubacar Traoré was joining last time. So, what are the chances of you getting a text message saying we're signing someone else now?
Yeah, very slim. Yeah, no, I remember that. It was what was it? Probably like 10, half 10 at night, something like that. And my phone pinged on the desk as I was talking to you to say, yeah, it's all done and dusted. But no, I think. Well, I know it's going to be very quiet today for Wolves, but it's probably a good thing, to be honest. Not only because I get to sit back and have a cup of tea, but because the club's been organised and prepared and got it done. So I don't think you can complain. Really, it's not exciting. It's not great for the stream, but it's good for putting the club in a good place, I think.
Yeah, but to be fair, at the same time, I think I can't remember the last time we've gone into a January transfer window sort of at this sort of level, being so relaxed because. Even a normal deadline day, I'd be checking my phone, just hoping and praying there's a transfer rumor. But today, I felt like I haven't needed to because they've got all their deals done, haven't they? Like they've got, bar the number 9, which I'm sure is a big debate because some people will appreciate that what Lopetegui's got. But it's been a really almost organised window for Wolves, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. They wanted to get it done early. With Cunha as well. I mean, they beat Everton, beat Leeds to his signature, did it before the window even opened. So that was a big one for them. And I think it's fair to say they overpaid for him, but they had to because they had to. He was their number 1 target. They wanted him. They got him. The club see him as that number 9. They do. He has played the majority. Look at the stats for where he's played at each different club in Germany and Spain. He has played the majority as a 9. I'm a little bit on the fence. I do think he looks good playing off a 9, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But if he scores the goals, I don't think anyone's really going to care, are they? But it's a big if. I think you've got to create the chances for him and the other players, and that's why I'm going to keep banging this drum. I think Pablo Sarabia is a top draw signing. I really do. I think the fee you've paid for him, 30-year-old, the numbers he got last season. I know it was in the Portuguese league, but it's still a very good level. And and I think for the position as well, right wing, can play a 10. He fits the formation perfectly. The Lopetegui wants to play. The manager knows him. I think it's a really good sign. And I think if you can get him in, straight into the thick of the action and working alongside players like Podence, who I think is very key to this team as well, then the goals will come. They're not going to score a lot of goals between now and May. Let's not kid ourselves, but I think they'll score enough to get Wolves out of trouble.
Was a number 9 ever high on the priority list? I know obviously you said Cunha is that man, but were Wolves, I know Gyökeres was probably the main sort of target we looked at this. Was anyone else, to your knowledge, looked at in January, or do you think that's probably more of a summer project?
It's definitely a bigger issue for the summer, I think, but they definitely looked at it. I mean, yeah, Gyökeres being one, Antonio being one, they definitely looked at it.
Yeah.
It would have meant someone leaving. It would have meant Costa or Raul departing, and that always seemed unlikely in January. You've also got to remember that they've got Kalajdzic coming back from injury for the summer. Fabio Silva's going to come back, and Lopetegui wants to look at him. Whether he goes on loan again is another debate, but the manager wants to look at him definitely. So they're not going to be short of strikers in the summer. They've just got to get themselves, there as a Premier League club first, which is easier said than done. So, but yeah, they do see Cunha as that man. It's a big transfer fee, a record fee as well. They just got to get the best out of him now, and that's the big thing. I think you've seen good things from him as well. You know, the assist at Forest. Obviously, he was heavily involved in the Juan goal at Anfield as well. So we've seen good things from him. I'm still not sure if he's a 9, but as I say, look, if he scores the goals, look, you know, it's not going to make a difference. I think he's a quality player, and I know this doesn't mean much to fans, but I did interview him after the City game, and as a person, I could not speak highly enough of him as well. Most fans don't really care about that, but I think it's really important for a dressing room. I mean, he was a top draw bloke to speak to put it frank. You know, he had the time as a person who just arrived in a new country with £43 million and been playing at one of the biggest clubs in the world in Atletico Madrid. I mean, Brazilian international. He's got no reason to stop for me. Not putting myself down, but he's got no reason to stop, and he was very gracious with his time, and just a very nice bloke. So that will go a long way in the dressing room. I think that they've been working towards that with some of the signings as well, because the last thing you want is a dressing room that's not in harmony, and a player like Gonçalo Guedes going in the opposite direction has probably helped as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the signings that we've brought in have looked at that, like the experience and I think the behind the scenes videos help with that as well. That Wolves released. The Cunha one was a perfect example of that. I think even Matt Hobbs said, the communication from him has been good this month. But he was saying that when was it the Safari Park, I think he would speak to people in the different languages. So he's a clever guy, and I think hopefully that's what Lopetegui's bringing in, these actual people. Persons, and getting an actual squad together. Do you think the organisation this month has been from the club's end, because they know they needed to spend the money to probably keep Wolves as a Premier League team? Do you think Matt Hobbs has had a big impact? Do you think it's Lopetegui, or do you think it's a combination of all three?
Well, I was actually just talking about that on the podcast we recorded, so make sure you give that a listen. So that's a really important point, genuinely, because I think the timing of Matt Hobbs coming into the job and the timing of Lopetegui obviously arriving at Wolves was really key. They're working together really well. Everything I'm told is that the working relationship is very good. Obviously, Lopetegui's got a massive say in transfers, a much bigger say than Bruno did. But that's because of the kind of manager he is and the kind of the weight he carries as a manager in world football. So they've got a system that at the moment is working for them. And it's an easy thing to say, but they genuinely, all the players they brought in were genuinely their number one targets for each position, which is very unusual that Wolves can do that. Partly because of the working relationship, partly because of the pulling power of Julian Lopetegui, genuinely. So at the moment, everything off the field is working in a really good direction, but I'll just keep bringing it back. You have to get it working on the field. We've seen really good signs, genuinely, but there's a long way to go between now and May. The only thing that, well, not the only thing, but one of the big things that might help Wolves is clubs like Everton are all over the shop. So that's going to, that's going to take a relegation spot. I'm not saying they will guarantee to go down. I think Sean Dyche is a good manager, but the fact that Wolves are trending in the right direction is only going to help them in comparison to some of the other clubs.
Yeah. Have you had much or a chance to speak to Matt Hobbs at all yet? I know he's been at the club for quite a while, but since he's sort of come into the new role, have you had any communication with him as of yet?
No, not yet. He was always when he was in his previous roles, always very quiet. You wouldn't see his face on social media or anything like that. He was very much, in the background. But when you take the kind of job he has taken now, you've got no choice but to put yourself out there. Credit to him as well with the communication, which you spoke about. I think he's done a very good job at that. You look at the quotes and how in depth they are talking about the signings, the process to get in the signings, what they'll add. Even the João Gomes one the other day was a really long, 700-800 word quotes piece. So credit to him for that. Not yet, but I am hoping to quite soon. It's fairly common that they'll try and link up with the local media to at least meet him and have a conversation. I hope to get an interview at some point, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, he did quite a comprehensive interview when he took the job, so they'll probably want to give it a little bit of time before he's doing that again. But yeah, I think at some point it'll happen, and everything I'm told is that he's a liked and respected guy. So I can't say anything negative yet. I'll reserve that right until I've he's had a bit more time.
The social media thing's strange, because I remember when there was all that news that he was going over to South America and so on in the summer. there was just no images of him. I didn't know what he looked like or anything. Like, you search his name on Google, there was absolutely nothing. And then obviously when Wolves announced him and this picture came up, I was like, oh, I genuinely did not have any idea of what he looked like. But that should be good, to be fair. I'm looking forward to seeing, what you come out with. But it seems like, and it might be a little bit of a coincidence with the timing, but I think everything, is, like you said, there's an upward trend with Wolves at the moment. And I think Lopetegui's a part of it. He's a part of it. Obviously, Fosun and Jeff Shea have had to, continue investing. Do you think, I think, it's hard to know exactly at the moment, but with the signings of João Gomez and so on, do you think that could be an opening and Wolves almost preempting and preparing for the departures of possibly Moutinho, Neves or Nunes in the summer?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, isn't it? Because you've got to strike while the iron's hot. You've got a player there who could be worth, God knows how much in 2 years' time if he reaches the kind of potential we're talking about. So that's one thing. You've got to jump at a player that you like and that is available now, and they stood their ground and got the player, which is great. But equally, it's 100% planning ahead. Moutinho is almost guaranteed to leave in the summer. Obviously, his contract's up. Neves is exceptionally likely, as painful as it is for everyone involved. But he was meant to go last summer. You might remember the interview that me, Tim Spears, and Alex Dickin did with him after the Liverpool game last day of the season in May, and it was him saying goodbye, and it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. The last home game as well, the game before that, he was almost in tears, waving to the crowd. So that was meant to happen, and it didn't. So we're fully expecting, with 1 year to go, that he will move on. The Nunes one's interesting. It's very much 50-50, to be honest, because if a club makes an offer for him and Wolves deem it an acceptable offer, he could easily go. But they're in a decent position. He's got a long contract, and Wolves will demand a decent fee, at least considering the amount of money they paid for him. But they could see 2 or 3 midfielders move on in the summer. So having Joe Hodge coming through, having João Gomez come in, Lamina is a sort of, you'd imagine, a mid-term sort of signing, but he's still a body in there. Boubacar Traore, I think, has looked good. So they're getting there. They're planning ahead as well as picking a player for hopefully the here and now as well.
Yeah. Just on that one before, Liam, as well, I was going to, while the question master's gone and I'm free. When you said about Matt Hobbs, I was going to ask, because I saw something on Twitter earlier about the signings that we brought in. Obviously, we've mentioned no number 9 and Cunha and everything, and they said with us bringing in players like Sarabia, Cunha, that Lopetegui and Hobbs might have identified chance creation more as a problem than the actual finishing. And I think we are quite far down the chance conversion rates. But is that anything you've heard from Lopetegui that he'd identified, like in chats or whatever, that maybe he thought it was more getting the ball into the box rather than the actual finishing the goals? Because I think we struggle all round, to be fair, but was that something that he felt? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, I agree with you that they definitely do struggle all round. But for me, I do think the biggest problem has been actually creating the chances. Yeah. I think I'll take you back to, and there's a game that always sticks out in my mind, take you back to Bournemouth 0-0 back in August, away there on a Wednesday night, I think it was. And obviously they created a few chances towards the end of the game and maybe could have won it. But for 70, 80 minutes, Raul Jimenez was, I don't want to pick on him solely on his own, but he was making all the wrong runs. I mean, there was a ball that came right across the in front of the first defender, right across the 6-yard box. Had any striker anticipated that ball and made the right run through the centre, bullying a defender, that's a tap-in from about 5 yards. He hangs back at the back post and then waves his arms in the air saying, why is the cross not reaching me? It was a great cross, just didn't make the right run. So it's partly that, but then equally, I don't think they've made anywhere near enough chances for the forwards to convert. So that's why I think Sarabia and Podence, to be fair, but Sarabia as a new signing will be really key in that, because I think for me they probably are the 2 starters out wide, and that's where your creativity is going to come from. Obviously, you go away to City and you play. I don't think Lopetegui got it right that day, and he admitted that as well. But you can understand the reasons for playing a Hwang and an Adama, trying to play on the counter, trying to have someone like Hwang who will work really hard, genuinely track back and try and win the ball. But there was absolutely no threat going forward, and that's why I think the other 2 will be much more important in creating those chances, I think.
Quickly, Liam, before we let you go as well, two players that we've already spoke about today and two players that could offer a threat for Wolves in the future, Chiquinho and Kalajdzic. Have you heard anything from your end on their potential return dates? I know at the time it sounds like it might be close to the end of the season, if not in the pre-season, but anything any sooner for either of those, do you think?
It's another poddy topic, mate. You're hitting all the buttons
mate,
right now.
there
It's
you go.
perfect.
Give me a listen, there you go.
You've
All
been
the plugs, mate.
you've been doing your research. Yes, so it's an interesting one with them. So I think as far as the club are concerned, you plan without them because they're such big injuries that you plan to not have them at all. The Chiquinho one, it's a little bit up in the air because the information I got at the time was it was such a bad injury that it was a genuinely July, August this year return rather than any time end of this season. Kalajdzic's injury obviously was after Chiquinho's, and it's the second time he's had that injury as well. But I think there's more of a hope that he might get back for the last few games of the season. But at the same time, Wolves can't hang around and hope that that's going to happen because you never know. So they're both pretty much written off for the season, but you might see Kalajdzic possibly, and then that links into the. I think you were talking about it earlier on the stream as well. Links into the registration, yeah. So because of Guedes leaving and the amount of foreign players they'll have a spot for one of either Chiquinho or Kalajdzic. I believe it's Thursday. They've got to have it registered by and sort of announced because I think the Premier League will put out a list of all the squads. So they're going to make a decision basically on who's going to potentially be back earlier out of the two. But you're not really going to see either, I don't think, this season. You may get lucky with one of them and maybe Kalajdzic, but the club are planning to be without them. So it's not really a massive story in that one of them's going to miss out, one of them's not, because it's just really to do with the numbers. But it'd be great if you do get Kalajdzic, well, either of them, to be honest, for 4 or 5 games, but it's probably unlikely at this point, I think.
Yeah, I saw somebody putting out what the squad would be next year with all those players still there and the amount of players we'd have. But I think you consider a lot of them probably Costa. I don't know what you think, probably won't be here next season. And I think there'll be a handful of players in this current squad or players out on loan at the moment that won't be here anyway. So I think that's something that Wolves will probably look to balance out. And I think they've tried to do that with, Dawson and so on and Bentley coming in just to balance out those homegrown numbers as well.
Yeah, I know you'll have a couple of players, like João Gomez is going to be under 21 for this season, but he turns 22 in February. So for next season, he'll be part of one of the foreign quotas. So you've got to obviously plan for what the squad's going to look like. I'm saying this not from a position of, having something to report and having a load of information, purely from what I think might happen, and I'll reserve my right to change my mind. But I do think there'll be quite a big turnover in the summer. I think you've got Adama Traore out of contract, Costa, as you mentioned, Raul his time's probably up by the end of the season. A lot of players like this, obviously we've already mentioned Moutinho, Neves. I think we could see a lot of the, for want of a better phrase, old guard from the squad probably moving on. So with that and players like Kalajdzic coming back, Fabio coming back, João Gomez is going to be obviously in the sort of senior quota for the squad. I think there'll be quite a few changes and an opportunity for Julian Lopetegui to, I suppose, rebuild the squad a little bit as well, which he probably needs. But overall, the window has probably been up there with the summer window when they first got promoted. I would say it's up there, with the number of players and quality of players they brought in. So it should hold us in good stead. But here's hoping.
Fingers crossed. Some transfer news, but it's not so good news. Sondergaard, has had his contract terminated?
Well, I did have a feeling that might be coming because he's been very much out of the picture.
It's
not really
always a deadline day contract cancellation. I always think that. Who was it last time? It was sure there was someone of that. Oh, not Oscar Burr, but definitely someone around that sort of time.
It might have been him actually, off the top of my head. But yeah, look, it's not really worked out for him. I know. I believe it was in the summer there was family issues as to why he left the pre-season camp to go home, personal reasons. I don't know the exact reason. Obviously, even if I did, I probably shouldn't say. But personal reasons. So obviously something going on there, and just wish him all the best. It doesn't happen with young players all the time. Some don't make it. And we've also got quite a lot of good goalkeepers. Obviously, Jackson Smith's gone to Warsaw, which is a good move for him. Louis Molden's in and around the squad again now. So yeah, probably inevitable, that one.
Yeah. Well, Liam, thank you very much for jumping on. I'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening, mate, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Nice one. Thanks for having me, gents.
Thanks a lot, Liam.
Take care.
See you soon.
Cheers,
mate. Big up to Liam Keane for jumping on. Some good insight there, lads, as well. But yeah, Sondergaard, Jordan, I'll let you talk about this if you want to. I'm sure you'd love to go in depth on this one whilst I tweet it out. But yeah, there's always, like I said, there's always a contract termination. I'm sure probably for the last few deadline days, there's always been one. But any thoughts and opinion on that one?
This is such filler. I bet everyone can't wait to listen to my thoughts on Sondergaard. No, I think like sort of Liam said there. I know obviously Lou Molden's around now as well. Obviously got Bentley in. There's a lot of competition, and I always think goalkeeper's probably the hardest position to come up in the game. And there's only one goalkeeper in a team, but you've got 10 outfield players. So if you're out of favour, then it's sort of tough. But if what Liam said there about him, having personal issues in the summer and having to leave the pre-season squad, then I think his health and his happiness is more important than football. And hopefully he gets to move to a club if that's what he's still looking to pursue. And I think I've done enough filler there, Dave, for you to tweet that
out. Not quite enough time, but yeah, we'll move anyway.
I've just sorry, go on, Dave.
Go on, no, you go on. You go on.
So I've just seen what Wolves have tweeted out just for BetMate in future. João Gomez 6.8 tackles and interceptions per 90.
Mate, he screams a good one.
He's a vice captain at least, isn't he?
4.5 mil on FPL. Not that it'd be much.
On FPL, yeah. If only you got the points.
Yeah, Jackson Smith was the guy you were talking about, Matt. He's the one that's gone out on loan to Warsaw. Yeah, a few people have asked about this, Finn, as well. Most random transfer move of the day. Matt Doherty is on to Atletico Madrid. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I sent it to you lads earlier, didn't I? Saying what a lovely little move for him. But whether they're just hoping, British right back, they're just hoping he's a Trippier, I can tell you he's not. But I think, then again, I mean, what he lacks in maybe quality of delivery, etc., that Trippier had in an Atleti team under Simeone, and he's aggressive, but also really lazy, isn't he? Like in tackles and getting up and down. So it's either going to be an absolute revelation or a nightmare, and I can't quite figure out which side of the fence I'm on with it. But I hope he does well. I mean, since he swapped agents, he's with Gestifute, isn't he? It's a lovely little moves to Tottenham and Atletico Madrid, considering we bought him for pennies from Bohemian. So it's a lovely story for him. I wish him all the best. I don't think his Spanish will be great. I can't see him really jumping into the culture, but pleased for him, I guess. It's a proper random one, though.
What do you reckon, George? Defensive team Simeone, but it's a bit of a good move for him, to be fair.
I think it's fair play to him. I'm not quite sure. It's like when Tottenham signed him from us, and you just knew Mourinho was going to play back four. I know a few Tottenham fans, and they're saying, "Oh, he's brilliant for you. He scored some goals." And I was like, he couldn't even play right back for us in League One, like defensively. like going forward, he was fantastic for FPL purposes. He was always good for a few goals a season, wasn't he? But defensively, I've always thought he's been bang average, and I think I don't know what Simeone's seen in him. It's a bit, I don't know. But what I will say about Kieran Trippier going over there is Kieran Trippier is a far better defender coming out from Atletico Madrid than he was going into it as well. So I think, if anyone's going to get you better at defending, if Mourinho can't and Simeone can't, you're never going to be any good at defending. So this is probably like last chance saloon for him. But I do hope it works out for him. I think it's like, a dream move for him. And look, he's had an unbelievable career, hasn't he? So from where he came from, Bohemians and that
sort
of
thing. Sorry. British, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's like that. It might be the same guy that when you spoke about Nathan Collins and he said he's Irish. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think everyone might be the same guy, to be fair.
Yeah, I reckon he's a UKIP photo.
Matt Doherty for the golf course is a good shout. He's a big fan of the golf as well. Neto is someone I never mentioned to Liam as well. If Neto gets back to the form he showed 2 seasons ago, would he be first choice? Probably. I mean, that's why we never quite saw, even when he was back from injury last year, never quite saw that same form. In pre-season, he looked nice, though. Early part of the pre-season before he got injured. So do you reckon Adama will leave? Obviously not this window, but I think he'll be gone in the summer. What do you reckon, lads?
Yeah,
it's free, isn't it, in the summer? So
I think I'm at the point now with Adama where for the last sort of 18 months I've said I love him for his imperfections, and now he's even starting to piss me off. So like he obviously wants like decent money, and I just think, you know what, especially the way that Lopetegui wants to play with inverted wingers, he's not going to fit the bill, is he? So,
Wagon Dave Finn and Georgie Chiefs or Absol.
absolute
close.
Chiefs.
Close enough. This year,
Sorry.
we've never had one away kit this year either. In a match, have we?
Have we won the third? Do you wear the third?
We
kit
wore
of
the third one
Palace?
for Palace. Yeah,
Palace.
but the
Yeah,
rest.
we did, yeah.
Who would because we normally do it for Watford, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Don't know. Unless maybe Newcastle, but that I was going to say just because they have black on their shirt, but that ain't going to happen, is it? Don't know. They've got to wear it at some point, haven't they?
Well, you'd think so, just from a merchandise point of view as well. They've probably got to
Yeah.
wear it so many times
Yeah.
commercially to try and sell the shirts.
Considering it was a well thought out, inspired by Molyneux. Rubbish.
Yeah. What's the insider report? Matt Cooper's always Wolves. Brilliant. What were you going to say, Finn? Sorry, before I interrupted you.
I was just looking at who Atletico have a right back, but it's that Molina that played in the World Cup. But so it's a decent challenge there for him. It's a completely irrelevant point, but I was just curious.
Is that thingy guy still there? The that Brasal, has he left long ago?
Salka.
Probably. Yeah, has he gone?
Oh yeah, is he
He
old
was
now?
brilliant on
I'm
FM
thinking
back in the
Marcus Llorente played there for a bit as well, didn't he? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you very much, Sing Wolves. I appreciate that, brother. We're gonna
Very good reference. I like that.
I mean, I can tell you now that Adama would have done about 3 laps before I even do one.
Matt Cooper is a witness to him agreeing to race me in a car park and then never did. And then those kids,
and those kids
did it before me.
We did try. You've tried with Josh Power a number of times to try and get that sorted as a video.
Very sarcastically, yeah. At the end of season dinner, when I spoke to him with Matt, I said, "Can we race?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll do it outside if they let me out." But then they sent the players one way and us the other. He probably was very happy that he didn't have to. But yeah, every time Josh spoke in any of the chats that were in, I just kept saying, "Let me race Adama," because those videos that it's like what Kieran Brown, a friend of the channel, has he been on? Well, friend of,
he's not been on the channel, but
those videos where it's like, this goalkeeper is 50 rated on FIFA, but this is what he's like in real life, whatever. They just bang. If you'd have done 90, you know what I mean? Like me versus, I think there would have been great videos there to actually race Adama because he's a very popular figure, but oh well, never happened. Unless I can change something in the next couple of months, but not looking likely.
Andy Jeffs tuning in from New Zealand. You haven't missed anything, mate. It's going to be a quiet day. I think we're sort of sitting down to see the final bit of action. But we have had the first piece of transfer news. Andreas Sondergaard, no longer a Wolves goalkeeper. It'd be a bit harsh if we did the old dance.
Can't do that for that.
That would be very, very harsh. Mike Evans, what's the nicest dinner Matt's ever cooked for you? I think I've eaten twice at Matt's. He did me like a chicken casserole one before Villa away this year. But he did like a stir fry or something the last time I went, like a Chinese sort of style stir fry. It was all right, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, he makes out he's a decent cook, so I've got to back him. I'm the complete opposite. So, Joe Gomez, yeah, some people that's who we've signed according to some people. Yeah. Where are we in the list? Let's talk. Carry on with the transfer. So who we spoke about pretty much. Craig Dawson is the one that we haven't really spoke about, George, because obviously he's added that bit of quality. A little bit underwhelming from a sort of interactions point of view, I suppose. But that's the club have chased him. Lopetegui seems to like him as well. And there's probably a lot of people in the chat that expect him to possibly start on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those solid signings that Wolves haven't done for a very long time. You know, sort of. It's something we've addressed the problem that we've got. He's homegrown. He knows the league. He's good for a set piece goal every now and again. I think on a pod before, didn't we say he got 19 Premier League goals? Something like stupid, wasn't it? A few pods ago.
Yeah,
he's got 19 goals.
Like
I just think he's a solid player. I've got, like probably all of us have got mates who are Albion fans and stuff as well, and they always used to rave about him because he used to play right back under Pulis. And I know it was a very sort of flat back four, but they always thought he was a solid player. And I think he'll come in and do a job for us. I think he's no nonsense. I think, well, I said earlier on this show as well, I'd like to see him starting again with Collins against Liverpool. That may or may not happen, but I do think you'll probably see him in the starting lineup pretty quickly. And he was in the Europa League Team of the Year last year as well. So, he's coming with some good form.
Yeah, definitely. We spoke about the underrated Sarabia, Tyler. We said that earlier on as well. Completely under the radar. Well, literally, I said the same thing because of the Gomez situation, because of the strange timing of obviously just before the Liverpool game as well. Finn, this one's for you. What's the new Wolves club doctor?
I have no idea. Seemed like a nice bloke. I've got a more actual useful information on Dawson than the doctor, though. If I can throw in my 2 pence.
Yeah.
I was watching James Alcott's video with Ben Foster recently. And he was they were talking about, do players ever down tools on a manager and all this? And obviously when Ben Foster was at West Brom, he was playing with Craig Dawson as his right back. Yes, he was right back at the time, not centre back. And they said when they brought in Pepe Mel, who wanted to play out from the back, Dawson, along with a few others, who was it? Jonas Olsen. I can't remember who it was at the time.
They've had it was Macaulay Olsen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That era, wasn't it?
So that was a proper back four like that, but it just worried me with Ben
Macaulay as well. Macaulay was all right, yeah.
But when he was saying almost I can't do this playing out from the back, so Pepe Mel said, all right, fine, we'll abandon this after a few games. It then made me think with what Lopetegui's trying to do, whether that will mix together. But it's just a lot of years since then. Maybe he's matured and he'll bring other attributes. But yeah, just slightly worried.
Ridgewell at left back, wasn't he?
Ridgewell. Yeah. Do you remember him when he wiped his arse?
Yeah. It will be interesting, the Dawson one, but I think that just adds, exactly what Wolves need, really, that experience. That's what we've been missing out on. Someone mentioned deal or no deal as well. Unfortunately, we haven't got deal or no deal this year. Matt normally sorts that out, but it was a little bit buggy, I think, last time as well. So Joe Hodge on loan to Burnley. That's not a thing, is it?
What?
No. Or is he on the wind up here? I've seen a few people on the wind up. Joe Hodge on loan? I've not seen that. Anyone confirm? No. Finn, Darcy's getting a lot of love today. This is the last comment I'll flag up, I promise.
At least he's honest. It's so funny. People are so someone came up to me recently, and what they said, they were like, I only watch him when you win or whatever. When we win or whatever. Well, at least the content's really has a draw. But she's at uni, so I won't force her. But thank you for your honesty. No Jimenez and no Darcy has been a struggle this season. I'll just check this Hodge Burnley thing. No,
I've just checked it. There's no tweets on Joe Hodge at all.
That would have been a good move. Oh well.
If I were to come to the US for a Wolves match, which game should I come for? Any really? Just try and get one that you can actually definitely get.
Well, Leeds it ticks a few. You got.
You got a few of the Americans playing. Have we played? We haven't played them at home yet.
No, we've got them. At Molineux, haven't we?
Yeah. There we go.
Then again,
Kevin McDonald at Exeter.
Oh, that's good.
That one is real. I saw that on Twitter already.
Yeah. He'd had quite a serious operation, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Fairly recently. Yeah. Great player, by the way. He was at Wolves.
He was a good player at the time. Yeah.
Just as a warning, those Mexicans that I made friends with that lived in America came over for Leeds at home, and Raul got sent off, and we lost from 2-0 up. So maybe don't come to that one, actually.
Yeah.
And also, long time Wolves target Onuachu is Here We Go to Southampton. Is the latest
long time Wolves target.
It's a shame.
The scorer of the worst hat trick known to man.
What a baller! 6'8".
Opinions on keeping Totti. I feel so scared every time he's on the pitch. He does great, but there's always that one F up. He's had a little bit of game time, Jordan. I think it'll be a lot more limited now. We've got Dawson in as well, but Matt. I don't think Matt was ever a big fan of him, but I can't say I do appreciate what Menacing Skull's talking about there, because he does look a little bit shaky whenever he's on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he's. And this, I mean this in the most sort of respectful way ever. I think he's just okay for the level. I think he's all right. I know what he's saying about it. I think he had a good game at Anfield, didn't he, Totti, on the whole, in the cup game, and then Forest in the Carabao Cup when he played in the middle of the three, didn't he? and the first 15 minutes, the amount of times he almost like trod on the ball, I think tripped over the ball, tripped over himself. Like he just didn't know what he was doing. I think they switched Kilman into the middle pretty quickly. No, I think he's an okay foot. I think he's all right. He served the purpose, he does a job. But realistically, if Wolves are where we want, the Wolves team that where we want them to be, Totti Gomez probably shouldn't be in the squad, and that's probably going to get some pelters. But yeah, that's my opinion anyway.
Me and Totti are good friends, actually, George. So I'm going to be letting him know.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, well, that's fine. No worries. I said he was okay. I didn't say he was shit, did I? I've called other people a lot worse on this channel.
Respect Twang. USA pre-season trip. Finn, they need to announce this sooner rather than later if it's going to happen this summer, because we had it already. We had it all planned for this summer, and in the end, we ended up going to Benidorm, and it went well there. So, would you be on it, George, if Wolves announced America, or was it?
No. As long as it was like in budget and stuff, and I mean that because I've got this wedding to pay for in 12 months. As long as Emma signs off on it, I know Matt would have a field day with that. But being honest with you, if the wedding's paid for, I could probably get away with it. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
We just have to start a Patreon to pay for us to go out there.
I might have to get my Wang out on OnlyFans or something for a bit.
Respect Wang again. Yeah, Finn, we had it all planned. To be fair, when we were going to go out there, and then in the end, the Benidorm thing was so last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I didn't go to Benidorm in the end, which would have been a much cheaper trip actually. But yeah, I was lucky because it was going to be sort of on the border between, wasn't it, Mexico and America going between. So to tick both off would have been amazing, and then it all fell through at the last minute. But hopefully with a little bit more time, because it was even going to be the year before that, wasn't it? And the year before that, and then COVID got in the way, and then so it's one of those things that I think if Wolves had their time again, they'd have loved it when Jimenez was at his peak as well, because now it probably wouldn't be as big, which is a shame. But yeah, it would have been amazing one of those years, and it still would be amazing, to be fair. It's something this side of America, maybe a little Florida tour, Disneyland with the boys, and then I don't know, Orlando away. It'd be lovely. But yeah, I'd still be up for it. It'd be sick.
This is what I was talking about, Jordan. Me and my boys. So you got to watch what you say, really. That was actually at a restaurant, and it says there's actually a fire exit sign above that, but I cropped it out and someone said, "Oh, you at a house party with him?" I was like, "Yeah, it was a house party." yeah. I felt bad because there was actually a young lad that went for a picture and just said to Totti, "Excuse me, can I have a picture?" And Chiquinho just sat there next to him. I thought, nah, that's bad. I was actually at a meal with my parents, and my mum says, "No, go on, you got to have a picture of him." I was like, "Mom, please don't make me do this." There you go, boys. Jason Mosquera as well. It's not been confirmed yet, has it? That it's set to go out on loan to FC Cincinnati over in America. Jord, strange level, isn't it? That because he was linked to top division French clubs in the summer. Now moving to America. What do you reckon of that as a level?
I just think he's stalled a little bit, hasn't he? He needs game time for sure. When we signed him, I thought he looked brilliant. When he got injured though, who was it? Was it Tottenham in the Carabao?
Yeah.
He looked brilliant, and then he pulled up pretty quickly, and I was like, great, we ain't going to see him again, and we haven't really seen him again, have we? So I just think he needs some game time, and it's interesting. He might go down the Campana route, hadn't he? And we might end up just selling him and getting a bit of profit on him, but I think he's probably way down the pecking order, unfortunately, at the minute.
Respect Campana, man. Still can't believe it. That shirt will look good eventually out on the wall. There was a report about Korea for Wolves tour, so that is true.
Like that as well.
Not heard much. That would be very interesting as well. Ethan Ingram is not signing. Sorry, I have seen you ask a couple of times. I don't think it's happening. George's small appearance on OnlyFans apparently.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah. USA preseason needs to be announced as early as possible. Can be expensive for people even in the US. Yeah, it was because the plan was, Finn, correct me if I'm wrong, to fly from at least city to city, if not state to state, wasn't it? Different states.
Yeah, it was quite.
There was a couple of games in California or something, and then in Texas, but that might just be me completely I don't know.
I remember the Texas thing because they've got quite a like
Mexican.
Hispanic community,
Yeah.
don't they? So, and that's where a lot of the NFL sort of stuff, like they do a lot of stuff in Texas as well.
Mm. Has Dave got his hand on Totti's bum? Possibly. Possibly. He gets to start with pre-season. If he goes to Europe, he might struggle to break in. Yeah, I suppose so. It's not a bad shout. I wonder how it'll run as well, whether it'll be similar to the Campana one, where it's almost January to December, so the full year out there. And then maybe come back in January pretty much fully fit and ready to go. Cincinnati, Josh, he went to as well. Connor Ronan Shiv wants to talk about Finn. He's gone to America as well. Probably was the longest serving player at the club, although barely got a kick. And I think I've said it a couple of times. He was almost just so unlucky in regards to how and when he broke into the club and actually where he played, because really broke into the club when Nuno, well, he had the games under Lambert, but when Nuno was in charge, he's more of a number 10, I would say. And Nuno has never played with a number 10. I think that's what held Morgan Gibbs-White back a little bit as well. But good loan last year. If Bruno Lage was still in charge, he may well have got some more game time, but new chapter for him now at Colorado Rapids.
Yeah, I didn't even need the forceful capitals to let me talk about him because I've absolutely loved him ever. There's something about him. Like, obviously not in a Wolves shirt, but ever since I remember it was Wigan at home on Valentine's Day. It must have been pushing on like 6-7 years ago now. It's close to
Didn't they beat us 4-0?
Yeah, we lost. We lost.
No,
it was a late goal. It was
It was
Bogle.
1-0.
Yeah, Bogle scored late on. But I remember Connor Ronan came on and played in like a sixth position. And then I was just like, this kid is gravy. And I think you're right. It was just really, really unfortunate circumstances. He must have been, how long been there?
I can even tell you the ref from that game because I remember. It was Bobby Maley.
Was it?
The dog shagger.
Yeah. Because I remember Morgan came on and Morgan got penalised and moaned and Bobby Maley's turner went right in his face. Right by the south. So I don't know why I just remember that. Yeah.
I felt so he has just been really bad luck. I think it's been quite bad how we've not messed him around, but certain things where it was like, oh no, we're going to keep like with Bruno. I don't think he would have, but Bruno said, oh no, I like the look of you, stay with us. Then proceeded to give him no, he didn't even get a minute, did he? Until Steve Davis came in. So, just feel really, really sorry for him. But it's an opportunity now, similar to Jack Price. I know he played a lot more for Wolves, but that's similar age probably when he left, and they'll link up. And I'm sure in that league he'll really, really shine. At the very least, I think corners and free kicks. I think he's probably one of the best in our squad for delivery. So they've got a really good player there.
The talking about
British player.
Oh boy. Talking about Bruno Lage, I've seen some fantastic quotes about him or from him in the last week. One from when Kalajdzic got injured saying it doesn't look too bad. It's not as bad as it looks. Oh, cheers Bruno. Oh my word. Someone had asked as well, any more Molyneux getting upgrades? I saw an image that the Steve Bull lower in the away end has now got some safe standing, or like the rail seat. Other than that, it doesn't. I think they're having a bit of a game with actually getting it sorted and the council as well. But I think the Steve Bull, you would actually have to close the stand for quite a long time, so you'd lose a lot of capacity as well. So let's wait and see. Would you boys take Teemu Pukki? Probably a year too late, maybe a couple of years too late.
Unfortunately.
I think Forest might actually be getting
Felipe. Oh, Keylor Navas.
Oh, will it be Felipe? Well, I don't know. They've just tweeted lights on at the City ground, so I hope it's Felipe, not Keylor Navas.
They are getting Keylor Navas as well. Marco Brighton going to West Brom. My word, it's all happening. Young Sam Bin as well. That's a name I forgot about. He's still at Grasshoppers, isn't he? I'm not sure how he's.
Yeah, I searched him the other day. I think he scored 3 goals or something. Wasn't a mainstay. So
you still following Grasshoppers?
Still got my Football Manager save with him, so I've won the Champions League now.
Well, that's on like FMO8 or something like that. Like you've been playing that for years.
No, yeah, it was last year. So it was 22. I had a real long-standing one for like 30 years with Telford. And then, I'm a grasshopper. It's horrible with grasshoppers because it's a bit like a Brighton simulator where you have to find like
players to sell on and
the
stuff.
wonder kids, and then the second like any decent Premier League club comes in, they kick up a fuss. So it's painful, but that's what Football Manager is, isn't it? We love the pain. I'm just trying to find his record here, but he was really, really highly thought of, wasn't he? I thought he'd tear up that league.
Not talking about Jordan Hwang. See, I thought he'd started off all right, Jordan, when he'd just come back from the World Cup, but I don't know. I'm starting to watch him again. And I'm thinking, does he actually do anything?
I think a little bit harsh. I think he's been good. And again, I've never been his biggest fan. But more so about his first touch. But I think since the World Cup, he's been pretty good. And I think he does work hard. But then Dave Edwards worked hard. It's sort of, you get into this thing where he works hard. That's sort of like, you'd expect that just to be like the standard of a player to work hard.
Yeah.
And press, and so I think he's been better than what he has been, and I'm glad, because he got slaughtered after that Newcastle game, and some of it was justified, some of it probably went a bit over the top. But I think there's a player that I do actually quite like him in and around the squad. I'd rather keep Hwang over Adama, and again, that's going to probably be quite divisive, but in my opinion, he offers a bit more than Adama does in terms of work rate and effort, more consistently than Adama.
Big up to Evan. He's our friend now, anyway. I want to say thanks to Talking Walls for the lives every transfer deadline day. Honestly, the best video to look forward to. Well, I had quite a few messages, to be fair, so I do appreciate anyone that's obviously tuned in and reached out to us as well. Jason was very highly rated. I remember the South American guy said he'd be a 30 million sign if he was already in Europe. Tim Vickery mentioned it on the Diego Costa video we did with him as well.
Yeah.
He said that he was like so highly rated, but then I think he was in a big cup game or something. He got absolutely rinsed, and he just didn't really recover from that as a player. So
it's similar. I mean, not to add a dampener to the João Gomez deal, but it's one of those ones where instead of doing the sort of thing where you let them leave Brazil, like South America, to a Belgian club or something like that, we went straight for them. So it's like, instead of João Gomez going to a Lyon and then them doing the same with Paqueta and Guimaraes and then selling them on, we've gone sort of straight for. I think Tim Vickery said that, didn't he? Instead of waiting for him to become that value, we sort of went in early when he was looking at moves. I think it was to a Belgian club. So hasn't gone as well. And I think that injury at the time, I remember in that pre-season, he was unbelievable. So it could just be another unfortunate one. But yeah, it's a shame. But he did look. I've just looked. Yeah, Jong Sang-bin has played 6 times for Grasshoppers and scored 0 goals. So I was lying. However, let's check out.
Everyone is literally bringing up Kawabe now. No, I would. When's his contract up? Hayao Kawabe, I'm very confident will never play a professional.
He's a 1 in 3, Dave. He's just under 1 in 3 this season. 32 appearances, 9 goals.
Who's that? Sang-bin?
Kawabe.
Or Kawabe? Kawabe.
Yeah.
Flipping heck.
Wait, did they only just start a new season? He's played 1 game and scored 2 goals.
Nah, that can't be right.
No, that can't be right. I don't know what's happening.
So that's not right. His contract to Wolves is up. Flipping 2025. Who sanctioned this deal? Oh my word. Maybe I'm wrong. But he's 27 now. I think he'll be gone. I'm very confident he'll be gone.
Transfermarkt says 18 appearances, 7 goals, 4 assists this season.
Yeah. Sam Beacon, what's Dave as a party's net worth? Net worth. I thought we were talking about transfer value for a hot sec. Not net worth. Finn, announce yourself. You don't want to see Finn, Mike. You don't want to see Finn play football. Even George seen Finn play football.
I'm not commenting.
From the opposite team. What a midfield battle that was. I could be a Kaladze. I'm still
devastated about that match, Finn. How we took that away because we were in a confident position until Jason.
Yeah, all fell apart when I came off.
It sounds when Jason scored that penner. Oh,
man. Yeah, I'm gonna have a pig's head thrown at me next time we play it anyway.
I reckon that would be a thing in the summer again at Molineux. Let's wait.
That would be good.
Do you think
been doing
Neto will be a
stretching a lot
beast when he
since.
recovers? Let's hope so, Joshua. Let's hope so. Anything else on
Mm.
Carval? I think,
Sure.
like the report said, and like we said in the video, I think that's more of a thing for the summer. But that'll
Yeah.
be a thing that's, I think, going into the summer, he'll have a year left on his deal. So Madrid will probably cash in and get a bit of money back for him. That'd be a great signing, I think, George. Someone of that, again, of that sort of caliber. Not necessarily going to be the player that, has been at Real Madrid for the last sort of 10 years or so, but you're going to get some real quality there, aren't you? And experience again.
Yeah, I know. I think I've put it in our WhatsApp group a little bit in jest, but like it almost reminds me a bit of like the Dennis Irwin signing. Just in terms of like caliber, stature of a player, to get that sort of player with his experience, even if he comes and plays 25 games a season for you, perfect. I think he could offer a lot. And again, it's rumored. Like I know Lopetegui's a big fan, and he's a big fan of Lopetegui. It makes sort of sense if you sort of strip it back a little bit, and then you realise we are Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he's leaving Real Madrid, and then you sort of go, right, I'm going to wake up now. But yeah, we'll see. If he comes, yeah, I think it'd be an unbelievable deal, though, for sure.
Yeah, a big Paul got Paul Ince as well. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Good shout. This guy, I think we met this guy at a game me and Matt did. I've got a feeling it was an FA Cup or Carabao game last year. He was disappointed because there's no pies left in the concourse. So Finn, apparently you've got connections. Sort out the lack of pies, dude. Matt always takes a mick out of me when I say dude. I don't know why.
Dude.
Yeah. It's a bit weird when you say out loud, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd say, well, Dave's got, look at the João Gomez picture we got sent. Dave's got the connections. Tell him to sort sort the pies. Pies are good at Wolves, though. How would you get someone's FB ref thingies up? Like the green lines.
Why are you looking at? Kawaii might not be on there because I haven't got. I don't think they've got. They won't have the Swiss League on there. I don't think.
I was going to say I thought they just like pop up.
Nah, you have to be in a certain league. Yeah, he's not on there. He's got this season. He's played 17 games, got 7 goals. That's a good record, That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, get him in.
What's that? His record.
Can't believe it. Like the other Januaries, we've been like
last year he scored 7 goals.
Sanchez coming, and now we're checking Hayo Kawavi's grasshopper stats. It's a shame.
That is absolutely mental. Just want to shout you out, Dave and the lads. Excellent coverage of the Mighty Wolves. Enjoy the podcast. Keep it up. No, I appreciate that, Stu. I'm looking for obviously no podcast this week as well, so I'm looking forward to jump on the podcast again next week. There you go, Finn. Jeff saying he won.
So did Jota. Jota did the same at the same time I was doing it.
With Telford.
With Telford, yeah, because I was literally doing it at the time, and then Jota said he was doing it. Bless him.
You see his FIFA video with Andy?
Yeah, with AJ. They didn't speak about Wolves much. It was only really Adama, wasn't it? But yeah, it was good. He seems like Jota. Unfortunately, as much as you want to hate ex-players or whatever, he seems like such a great bloke. But
yeah, Isco was a definite to sign. Yeah, I thought the same. To be fair, I thought that was gonna happen. Bendigood's Boller as well. Some people have mentioned currently at Grasshoppers. He was in the Hungary squad, wasn't he?
I think didn't he come off the bench when the bit? Yes, I'm sure he come off the bench.
Possibly,
I think he did. How's he doing? That's how God, we're clutching straws.
I know we're working on it, but currently, even if we had a class striker, would we still suffer with goals? A lack of supply and detachment from probably Lewis. I think that's something that Lopetegui will try and look at. I just hope we don't finish the season as one of the lowest scorers again. Obviously, at the minute, it's not good. But I think the goals will come. But I think Jimenez will probably, like I said earlier, Jimenez will probably go. Costa will probably go. I know you'll probably have Silva, Kalajdzic possibly still. But another striker is a must. And I think we've never, bar Silva, I'm going to sound stupid now because we did a little bit on Jimenez, but the amount of money that we've spent on other players and positions, imagine if we'd spent another 30-40 million on a proper established striker, we'd be laughing really. So let's have a look. Can something as soft as a good song for João Gomez get the Molineux again? We spoke about that earlier. I think the atmosphere will be a really interesting to see how he goes on Saturday. I think we all know now we've got to get behind the team. and it'll be interesting to
Yeah.
see what Wolves do to try and change it as well.
We do need to nail a song, don't we? Like what they're
Yeah.
going to go for with Gomez. I know we referenced it before, but I think we do need a few more staple. I think the problem's it's one of many problems, but a lot of the players now, like Semedo, you could argue like Kilman, players like that basically that came through almost in lockdown, like they never had a song. So a lot of the players just have like there's only one, or just saying their last name over and over again. So we did like there's sort of like a batch of players that never really got anything, and then we do need to come up with a few more. And Gomez, there should be. I mean, I've seen a lot of good ones, and it should be a bit of a tap in with the context and how much of a cult hero he's going to be. But I don't know, a few more songs and a few good results, and it'll fix it. Atletico have just announced Doc, by the way, and they've done it in the exact same way that Spurs did it. With like the tweet.
Well, I thought with the songs and stuff, I thought we had like an absolute nailed on one for Lopetegui. With obviously the video that was going around, the Sevilla fans singing. And then like literally like 30 minutes into the Gillingham game, it's Lopetegui's balmy on me. Like,
The thing is, though, at the Arsenal game, they did the Lopetegui one, didn't they? Before, when he was walking around, they were singing that, and it was class. So, they gotta get that one going.
Enzo, here we go. So
I've just
enjoy
seen
that
that
one,
as well.
Wolves fans.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We are
100 million on deadline day. Wow. Oh wait, Tottenham have terminated Matt Doc's contract.
Have they?
He's gone permanently.
I thought it was a loan.
That's a Mendes signing on fee bonus for him, isn't it?
Have they
We have
actually?
mutually agreed to terminate the termination of Matt Doherty's contract to enable him to join another
Jeez.
club.
Oh my god.
So he's left there on a free.
So what? How long?
What?
How long's his? Yeah, enable termination. Oh my god.
Fairs.
So what contracts he signed at Atletico? I thought that would be a 6-month and out.
It's probably signed like what,
Yeah.
2.5 year deal.
How long
I don't
was
know.
it?
Brilliant. That's
So he
brilliant.
signed from us, August 2020. So how long was his contract?
That's a really weird thinking behind that. Unless
It is
George Mendes owes Spurs a massive favour. Unless Doc's
Yeah.
paid it out himself. But how long would he have had left? Surely a couple of years left.
I would have said he got 18 months at least, hadn't he?
Well,
So when did he
that's
leave us? 2 years ago.
So it's August
During
2020.
COVID,
So it's coming up to 2.5 years ago.
So if he signed a 4-year deal, let's just say it'd have been 18 months left.
Oh, sure. Strange, that is. Anyway, before we move on, guys, obviously, BetMate as well. We haven't had a chance to shout it out on the podcast. So we've got a free to join pot. So if you've not got involved before, it's definitely worth checking it out this weekend. So the pot code is on the screen: WOL-LIV. So Wolves Liverpool free to join pot. You got the free bets as the winnings this week. So if you've not got involved, jump in, see what it's all about. You pick 7 players that you think are going to perform best from the game between Wolves and Liverpool, and you'll have your chance to win some money. Download the app on the App Store or the Play Store. Use code TW10, and when you join your first pay pot, you'll get a £10 bonus as well. 18 plus, UK residents only, and please do gamble aware. But yeah, some mental signings. Wolves obviously having a quiet day. Sondergaard is at the moment the only sort of movement out. We're half expecting Mosquera to be announced soon as well. But the Matt Doherty thing is extremely weird. There you go. Let's go reach the international loan limit. But surely they just buy him now? No.
Yeah. Wouldn't have been. Who knows?
It is a Mendes. It's a Mendes.
Yeah.
Is he? And again, we wouldn't know this. We're not close to obviously Spurs or whatever. But is he involved with Porro going from Sporting Lisbon? Is he Porro's
Possibly.
representative?
Possibly, yeah.
So that would make a little bit more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll get him over the line if you
Yeah.
sort that out. Oh, it's
Fabrizio.
weird. Just going to see if he's on the old transfer marks. Anyway, Fabrizio said loan, yeah, but then Tottenham have said he's
Fabrizio fraud? Question mark. There was a few this here we goes that nearly didn't this summer though, weren't there? There was
Yeah,
nearly us, and then
Well,
Danjuma.
Danjuma to Everton, yeah. Enzo Fernandez first time round to Chelsea as well, I guess. I think he regretted that as well.
What do you think about that one? free from Design Melody, free man like Gomez. Leon needs to get a life.
Can you imagine?
They get the South Bank going, to be fair.
Mate, can
Any
you
other
imagine the
chance
South Bank-
suggestions, let us know.
Man like Gomez from the South Bank, that'd be class.
Yeah, the although I guess if you aren't Porro's agent, I'd assume with him being at Sporting, Mendes
There's something,
probably
yeah.
did something in that as well. Matt Cooper's here as well now, finally. Here
All right,
he is.
boys. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you all doing?
Yeah.
Good mate, you?
All good.
Yeah, not too bad. A long old day. But
You missed all the fun, mate.
what's
Yeah. We
happened?
thought-
What's been-
We
going
thought
on?
you Sondergaard's gone. Sorry, I was going to say we thought you were going into Castlemore.
George, is that the world's biggest bar of dairy milk behind you?
I was thinking that earlier.
Headrest, to be fair, I wish it was. I'd actually murder some chocolate, to be fair, but no, unfortunately not.
How's his row?
It's good, yeah. There's, you'll see thunder and lightning in the corner of my window. It's storming and shit weather, but
All right.
it's nice though. Other than that, the weather's shit, but it's been good so far.
I'm getting it
Nice.
cut tomorrow. It's so long. It's horrible. I'm getting it cut tomorrow.
No, yeah, Sondergaard's gone. That's the main piece of news. Still waiting for mascara. Matt Doherty, though, he's gone to Atleti, but Spurs have terminated his contract.
Have they?
Yeah. So he's gone on free, basically.
That's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, we're just trying to. Well, apparently Atleti had too many loans, but we reckon it might be a Mendes favour as well with the Porro thing.
Could be. It's all linked, isn't it? I don't know, like how Mendes finds the hours in the day. I know it's not just him, but
I know. Everton go down this season. Cody wants to come back to us. Do you keep or sell him? He's got to go, blood.
I think the damage is already done.
Yeah,
Keep him forever.
I think the damage is already done, unfortunately.
What's this one?
Get
Still saved on there. Apparently, you look like Don from Surfs Up.
don't know who that is.
Me either, I don't know what I was
what
going to say.
hell?
Yeah.
He's a penguin, I think. It's a man, it's a man actually, Derek.
So what I mentioned the loan players, the players out on loan to do a buy, sell, or keep or sell thing on them. We will obviously do a full series on that at the end of the year as well. But let's have a look at the players that are actually out on loan for Wolves at the moment.
We had an email as well off a listener. He asked us to go through a few things.
Go on
I'll get the email.
on this podcast.
No, I mean not necessarily for now, but I thought it was quite good. To be fair, let me try and find the email. Crack on, mate, and I'll find it.
Yeah. So we'll find the players out on loan. We've got Keanu Hoover, Finn comes back in the summer. Another loan. Sell. You ain't gonna get your money back.
No, I didn't see rave reviews of his first little cameo for Stoke. They apparently they said like quite audibly in the crowd they were getting fed up with him already, which is a shame. It sort of follows that same never buy from Liverpool thing that we don't seem to learn from. But yeah, you're not going to get your money back. But I think you take the hit and what would you get? A couple of mil if he doesn't impress in the Championship. You're not going to get much back, are you? How long has he been left on his contract? When was it? 2 years ago? 3? I don't know what he's on.
Probably on a fairly longish one.
You'll probably find that if it doesn't quite work out at Stoke, then a Dutch club will take a point on him for 4 million.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a
not
fight.
great, is it?
No. You got that email, Matt?
I've just put it in the Twitter chat.
How does completely un-Wolves related? Bruno Guimaraes has been sent off in the Newcastle game. Does that mean can he serve that ban in the league? So
No,
it's
it's
completely
in the cup.
Nah, it's in a cup.
So he'll lose. So he won't play the final.
No,
Mad.
it's a red card anyway. I've just seen the replay.
Is it FA Cup
Yeah.
where the ban counts in the league or cap?
If he had a I think if he was in the league, the Carabao. It's weird how it works. I think.
Yeah,
the
it's weird,
Carabao
yeah.
Cup would, yeah. So
Because we had that with Costa, didn't we? We did one against Brentford, and then one of the cup games counted as well.
Yeah. So the email was off a listener called Tim Harper. So his first question was who's fit and who's not. So we spoke about this quite a little bit already about the injuries and so on, but obviously there might be people that are just joining in now. So current injuries: Traore, Boubacar Traore. That is, we said at the start of the month he'll be out for 1 to 2 months, so he might not be back till about March time. Be interesting with him, obviously, in regards to his option to buy, whether Wolves go and trigger that. Because it's how much was it again? It wasn't a huge amount of money, was it?
About £8 million, smart.
Yeah, so I think based on his early performances, it's possibly worth doing, but obviously we've not really seen much of him under Lopetegui as of yet. Mosquera is a player that is. I've answered his second question. Mosquera is obviously a player that's set to go out on loan. He's going to Cincinnati. Kalajdzic, we spoke to Liam Keane earlier. Sounds like he's maybe back for the last sort of handful of games.
Are they going to register him?
Yeah. That was another thing. Well, apparently everything we kept talking about, they've spoke about on their podcast. He said it'll be him or Chiquinho, but don't read into it too much.
He won't be Chiquinho because he's still got a leg like an Allen key.
Yeah.
So it'll be Kalajdzic.
Yeah, I think Kalajdzic sounds like he'd be back a bit earlier, and obviously Chiquinho's out until like probably pre-season. And other than that, I think the rest of the players are fit. Who's out on loan and are they likely to return? So that's what we were going through just then. So Sarkic, I think if he has another good season, I think Wolves cash in on him. I don't think he's ever going to be number one, is he? Yeah. Cody, if Everton go down, Jord, do you take Cody back? We'll just cash in.
You can't. I think what Matt sort of said as well. I think it was sort of a bit mutual when he left because Wolves fans sort of understood he wanted to get to the World Cup and he didn't owe us anything. Still been the best captain most successful Wolves captain in our lifetimes, even mine, Matt, at 54. But I think but I do think the comments of like the family stuff on the social media, I think he's almost tarnished that. And for a lot of fans, that won't matter. But to a lot of fans, it will matter. And I think there's probably, after the Sace interview as well that you guys did, there was probably stuff going on at the club, which meant, he went. But I just don't think they handled themselves well. So some of the social media stuff probably left a sour taste, and I just don't think he'd get welcomed back, if I'm honest with you. So I would sell.
Yeah, he'll be. Oh, we want to sell him so we can get him on a podcast as well. To be fair, so
it's difficult. It's like you mentioned about the comments his family made, Joe. Like obviously it's not great, but that's not him.
No, it's not him. No.
On the contrary, it's
It's obviously something he said though, or they believe.
Yeah, as we always say, no smoke without fire. All the smoke, all the fire. But the potentially the people who have got under his skin may not be longer at the club. I don't know. So could there be a door open there? I don't think he'd want to come back because I feel like that chapter's done now. It's almost like I think it'd feel a bit awkward of him coming back because of the manner he left and stuff, and like you said, all the comments post move, and I don't think he'll mind playing in the Championship if he goes down because it's a lot closer to his family. He still lived up there anyway, so I think as you can see from like the outside, he's very family orientated. So I think he'll probably prioritize that, and you can't blame him really. It'll be what 30, 31. 30. So
yeah, I'm the same as you, Matt. I think he'll stop at Everton, even if they go down, just because of, like I say, that family thing. And realistically, I don't think he'll be called up for the England squads now from the qualifiers onwards. I think that's the cycle done now in terms of. I think they'll look on to a thing. So if the England career's over, inverted commas, he'll probably look at it and go, you know what, I just want to play for a big team back in Scousland, where he's from, with his family and friends, and just I think that's fair enough. Yeah, I just think,
And the option's what, 4 or 5 million quid? It's nominal, really, considering the service he's given us. Which is, I don't know why they've done the favour, because For me, I don't understand that. There's no room for sentiment like a business, not a charity. But I think even if they go down, that is an absolute non-brainer for them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I didn't realise we had quite so many players out. And obviously, Chem Campbell we've already spoke about a little bit. Jackson Smith, be interested to see if he does get any much game time, if any. Boller, we've spoken about. Bruno Jordao, I think again that's another player which could probably be gone. Finn in the summer.
Where even is he Grasshopper? No, he's gone back to Portugal, hasn't
Clara. And
Yeah.
I don't think he's played yet.
he? God, yeah. I've always said it's that first
he's
Reading
had-
game.
He had
Yeah.
surgery as well. He joined and then he had a major injury. So he's not even played.
Another one that you could put down to good luck, or whether it was just a sweetener in the Neto deal. Another Mendes backhand. I don't know, but yeah, I remember that first Reading game. I thought we had a play on our hands, and then it's never materialised. But him.
Yeah, the Fabio Corbianu or Corbanu, I should say. Sorry, Matt. Weird one. Second division of Germany. Arminia
That was a weird one.
Bielefeld.
Yeah,
Strange signing. Strange. We were talking, Matt, as well earlier about Mosquera joining Cincinnati in MLS. I know obviously Wolves have like that loan manager and they look at everything like that, but second division of Germany in MLS, is that the level that Wolves need to be looking at for players that, to be fair, do have potential? I think both of them.
The Corbanu move for me is very much FM offer to clubs on loan.
Yeah.
It's very left field. But perhaps the club wanting to go and experience something a little bit different anyway.
What?
Probably-
Where they must be pushing the top, are they, for him to go there?
No, they're
In
one
that
from
league.
bottom.
Not necessarily because Blackpool are down the bottom, aren't they?
They're one from bottom.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, it's very tight. Like if they win a game, they can go up to like 10th and the 17th
yeah.
for the minute. So it's really, really tight. But yeah, it's not great. I thought they'd be like pushing top end as well, to be fair.
yeah. Oh dear.
Have
Strange one.
Everton managed to sign anyone?
Doesn't look.
just
They
out
said they're
of
the only team to not make a signing, the only Premier League team
This month?
this
Wow.
month. Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
So they've literally he promised a striker. I think he was on TalkSport. He said he promised to get a striker in, and they've let go of Gordon and signed no one.
Surely
the,
that-
the,
there's
the
gotta be
made
a
40
panic
million
there.
quid then. Jesus, they sold Gordon, got the money and not reinvested it.
So
Pay-
I
Pay for a
follow
few rows of seats in the stadium.
I follow quite a lot of like Everton fan accounts on Twitter. So today I'm just going through their media. They've been linked with Jean-Philippe Mateta, but a deal is unlikely. Everton made a late loan bid for Watford's Ismaila Sarr. It's been rejected. Who else have we got?
Giroud, I've got here.
There is nothing in the latest report linking Everton to Andre Ayew. Everton have been offered Olivier Giroud, but he doesn't want to go. Everton, Udinese have turned down €35 million bid for Beto. Honestly, that's what. How many is that now? Everton have shown a real interest in Reading forward Lucas João and Paul Onuachu.
That's at least 7 there, you said.
This is. I'm only at 3:15 this afternoon here.
They were linked with Gyökeres earlier as well. I'm sure I saw that.
Yeah, Zaniolo. Oh my god! You see, I mean, it must be hard being an Everton fan at the minute.
I
To
knew
sell
actually
Gordon.
under Sean Dyche would have been class. Back to hoofball.
It's awful. I think there's some
Yeah.
more. Bear with me.
They're banging trouble on them.
That is bad. I didn't realise that. And surely Dyche would have only gone in with the promise of actually spending a bit of the money. Or maybe he was the cheap option.
Everton are interested in a deadline day move for Leon striker Moussa Dembele. Everton are interested in Sulemana. Everton are interested in Anthony Elanga. Everton made a move with Coventry City striker Victor Gyökeres. I mean, it'd be
Is it
funny.
like
but
an
this is
Everton
like,
space or anything? There's gotta
I
be
mean,
something.
it'll probably. Geraldo Becker has rejected a move to Everton.
Poor lad.
god.
Oh my god! Andy, all right, I'm getting to midday now. Everton have an interesting striker, Southampton striker Che Adams.
Well, he scored
Keylor
tonight as
Navas,
well.
here we go. By Keylor Navas to Forest.
Oh my
It's
word!
an odd one, that
Yeah.
is, because Dean,
What are they
obviously,
doing with Henderson?
probably out
Yeah.
for longer than they probably think.
They realised
Right.
Hennessy's not absolutely gash.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happened.
Just like he was at Wolves.
Oh man. A couple of people mentioned a couple of the other loan players. Nigel Lombard we spoke a little bit about earlier. Probably another loan move out for him, but at a highest, well, maybe a higher standard. He's doing really well at Plymouth at the minute, and they're doing quite well as well. Luke Kundle, Finn, I can't remember if you said he was doing quite well at the start. Is it quieting down a bit as far as you're aware, or?
I'd only seen the little bits. Did he score against Cardiff or something? He did something that
It's the
really
Albion
got
one.
the
He did
Swans-
something.
Was it? Yeah, I knew it was some sort of derby related thing. It might have been the Wolves derby, not the Swansea one. But I know there was something early on that everyone was raving about him. But I think it was in the Express and Star podcast they were saying that Hodges impressed the Wolves staff more than Kundle or something along those lines. I will just have a look because I haven't really been keeping an eye on him. But I think he's 17 games, 1 goal, which must have been that one. So maybe I'm cherry picking there. But I mean, if he's starting games for a championship team this season, then you reassess. But 20 years old, I don't know whether there'll be a future there. I don't know. Obviously, as you say, we're stacked with midfielders for now. But if a load go in the summer, there might be an opportunity. But it'd probably be a sell to a championship club, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Yeah. Bonatini moved to a Mexican club, I think. It's Atletico San Luis. So yeah, they're in the top division in Mexico, to be fair. So yeah, he joined them shortly after he was let go at Wolves.
Can you
Ryan
get Tinder out
Giles
there
as
or
well.
what?
Second, sorry, George.
So can you get Tinder out there? Is
Oh,
it
I know. Yeah.
Swordsman?
Yeah, Ryan Giles as well, doing really well. I believe that's Borough at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, I think since Carrick put Chuba Akpom back in, I think them two have combined for loads and loads of goals, Giles to Akpom. So that might be a striker signing as well for the summer. But would Lopetegui put him in a back four, I suppose, if he's going for the high and wide fullbacks? But then you're spoiled for choice at left back again,
Be a
aren't
bit
you?
like an Aït-Nouri, wouldn't he? Like you just don't know where
Play it, yeah.
to play him.
Plays the winger for.
I know he's definitely not a winger.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't think so,
Lopetegui
yeah.
said it, didn't he? In one of it, I think it was an interview with the Express Star or a post-match thing, saying I think he sees him more as a fullback in the future. Anyway,
He's got like his technical ability, the ball at his feet, so good. I just don't think he's explosive enough. Like you can't get away from players. I know you can say like, well, he can do that with his footwork, but
Adel to Rat Regen, game in at number 10. 7 assists for Giles. I've always another one I've got. It's like I don't know whether you have to. How old is he now? 23. So yeah, maybe I'm holding on a bit like Ronan, but I'd like to see him giving a go.
Yeah, Luke Matheson.
strange, wasn't
I
it?
forgot about all
Is
these
he
players.
still at the club?
Yeah,
Or
he
is
is.
injured?
There he is, yeah.
So he's had a.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he'll last much longer. I thought he was out on loan, but he's obviously.
I think the last time I saw anything about Matheson, he was having surgery.
Yeah, Scunthorpe he went out on loan in January, and then that's it. So I don't think he'll last much longer. I mean, he signed a contract 2019, so if he's not up this summer, it's probably next summer, isn't it?
He went to Ipswich as well. I didn't get a kick, did he?
Nah, he's not. He's not very.
He got 2 kicks according to Wikipedia. So yeah.
Single Wall said, would Wall set out weekly with 40k capacity?
No,
No, I don't
Probably
think
not.
not a minute anyway.
No. Did Ryan Bennett move recently? George, thoughts on that?
I'm not talking about Ryan Bennett on this podcast. I know exactly what he's trying to do. That ain't happening.
Have you got a story about Ryan Bennett, George?
I have put it over this
That's for
podcast.
the Patreon. That's for the owner.
Yeah.
Under the Bosch.
Yeah. That's a good one. That. If they finish first in the league, get Champions League football, Europa League, do you let him stay and see if he can rock Europe? Are they not in Europe now, PSV, or have they been knocked out?
They're in
I think
Europe,
they're cool.
weren't they?
Yeah, they qualified.
Played
in Arsenal's
Arsenal.
group, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think they come
They get-
second in the group.
We go for a second.
Good, that's-
So, mate, that line is mad. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Should have given Bonatini a chance, according to Florida.
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
Sevilla in the Europa League, PSV.
Not so
That's
far.
unfortunate. Specialists.
What would it take for Wolves to sell out weekly at 40k? I think they just need a better
Win
football,
games.
win more games. I think winning games, like, sort of top 6, top 8 again, I think you'd sell it out. I think that's why Fosun have probably calmed down on the whole development side of things.
There's no need. The best off developing the corporate offering.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because that's where you make a bigger margin.
I think they could get 40k, but they'd have to look at the ticket pricing situation, which is another thing in itself. It'd have to come down a lot. Like, Wolverhampton's not a most affluent area, like everyone knows. So it's like I think you have to. I think a lot of fans at the moment are priced out a little bit. Well, there will be fans priced out, especially in the current economy. So I think they'd have to look at that if we were to get 40k. But I think what they will do is what Matt said. They'll probably look at the corporate offering, and that's the way of getting money in and revenue. Unfortunately.
Nathan Fraser, chance of him breaking in the first team. I mean, he was with the Lopetegui in the sort of mid-season break they had. Very good finisher. Still very young as well. Saw him in Sainsbury's a few weeks ago, actually.
What was he buying?
He's with the Birds, so fairs.
Prime.
Yeah. Sainsbury's local. What's the best shop in Compton?
They've got it all around Wolverhampton, by the way. I tried one the other day. It was all right.
I've never had one. Matt, you've had it, haven't you?
Nah, I picked it up and put it back down because I'm not succumbing to the marketing.
Yeah. There was I spoke to a guy the petrol station near where I live at Old Wintford, and he had it on the front. And I said, "Oh, how much are they?" Like, I just thought, I bet everyone's trying to rob him. He said people have tried to rob him out of the fridge, and I said, "Oh, what do they taste like?" And he said, "Metal." And I was like, "Oh, you're not exactly trying to sell it to me." Yeah. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "The shit." I was like,
they smell stronger than they taste. It's really weird. I had the tropical put in Wolves Asda. They're like the one across the stadium. There's literally just like a massive shelf of them for £2. Because I had a mate that was in London at the weekend in a spa, and they were £12 in a spa. Like, so I don't know how they're doing. Like, it was a different flavour, but my God. But yeah, Wolverhampton, we're fine. £2 a bottle, but yeah, it probably still wasn't.
What's on this one? What's happening? The UK national anthem, Giggs talking artist. Your head's better pop up in your thoughts.
Pop up in your thoughts to a right wing.
Very good. Very, very good.
Can you imagine?
Oh, that's why. Because Spurs had too many international loans.
So they both had too many as in.
No. Well, yeah, that's why I think Spurs had to sort out. That's mad, to be fair. Do we have any decent strikers at under 23s? Yeah, Nathan Fraser was just mentioned. A proper number 9 is what the 21s have lacked for a long time.
Who was that little one that you liked, Dave?
What, Lee Harkin?
With the tattoos.
Yeah, he's still there. He's dried up with the goals a little bit there. I remember there's a guy who's like an analyst for another football team that I've watched some 21s games with, and he cannot stand Lee Harkin. He just says he will never make it in English football. But then whenever he scored for Wolves, I used to send him the video clips of all the goals. So Leon Chouameni as well. Under 18s. There's a lot of them with the under 18s, 21s as well. Leo Bonatini has more goals than Adama, Hwang, and Costa already this season.
League playing in.
His Wikipedia is not up to date, unfortunately.
Playing in the Bilston Prem.
Respect the Bilston Prem. Oh, we don't talk about Sunday League football anyway. Flippy deck. I would Smith as well. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, an update for you. BetMate have come fourth. I didn't even realise they played. But
I was going to say, did you have Sean Longstaff, you perv, every time?
Vice captain, yeah.
How much you win?
£30.90p.
This guy, man.
Yeah, he loves a Sean.
You can't be talking about saving up for America when you're winning these bet mates like that.
Yeah, no, I'll be coming if he keeps going on. Told you to pay the wedding off, and then I'm away. There you go.
Yeah. So we're talking about a US tour, Matt, and Jordan's like, we'll have to check out with the missus and that. So
I didn't say it like that, Dave. I said I've got to take the wedding first. I ain't got to check anything out.
What US tour?
Yeah, like if it happened again this summer, like if it was a thing.
Magic Mike tour.
Yeah. If George's not coming to Southampton away, he's definitely not going to America.
Load of rubbish.
Felipe to Forest opinions. I think out of Dawson and Felipe, Dawson obviously with the Premier League experience probably just edged it. For
Very
me.
handsome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, there you go.
That's
That's
he
the
was
honest
awards on
opinion.
FIFA last year, which means he's a good footballer. But from everything I saw, people were saying he's probably
That's
past
some
it.
insight from me, Finn.
Yeah.
Doesn't Traore, Boubacar Traore? Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think it's ever been documented the exact amount of games, but I think Wolves can either trigger it or it'll
The
become
Cunha one was
automatic.
mad, wasn't it? It's
2 games, wasn't it?
3 games.
I think that
yeah.
was just the
It was.
Kalajdzic tax, wasn't it? The best one was you remember Slavomir Pesco?
Baller.
Because I think we had a clause to sign him for 5 million, and then when Dean Saunders came in, they just never played him because I think that it was very close, like another game away from becoming permanent.
Go and get
But
the photo, Dave.
Well, me and Slavomir Pesco. Oh my word. Oh, give me a second. But Dean Saunders said basically when he came into the club, he had to just cut loads of wages. Like Steve Morgan and Jez Moxley promised he'd be able to spend a bit of money, and it just didn't happen. Got rid of Jermaine Pennant first. Wise decision.
That works for
How's Dong Dahi doing? Yeah, we don't talk about it too much, unfortunately. In this
There's been so many like inside jokes being dropped tonight. People are going to get like wound
they're going
up
on
that
they're going to have to go on the Patron, aren't they?
Dong Dahi tried to move to my missus, basically. That's that's the story there. That's the story there, you know. So.
now, David. Now you've spilt the beans on Dong Dahi. Jord, can you spill the beans on Ryan Bennett?
There's absolutely no way I'm talking about Ryan Bennett.
You've got them, mate.
I'm not going on the record talking about Ryan Bennett. If that happens.
This is me and Slavomir Pesco, by the way. There you go. Loved it.
Oh,
That's a brilliant little kit, by the way. That one there.
it's last year's,
It was a nice
away
kit.
kit.
Yeah. There you go.
Where's that?
That's Pesco, eh?
No,
The
where?
old club.
Oh, where? What do you think it is? Club
I was
shop?
gonna say, I
It's
guess
before they
it's club
kitted it out.
I was going to say it looks awful.
No else. Oh mate, I'm getting rid of these. There's clack.
Clack. Yeah.
Clack. What does that
You
even
really-
mean?
He really thought he did something with that, didn't he?
I know.
Tongo Dumbia.
I was going to say
There you
Tongo,
go.
yeah.
Tongo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and new
Me,
signing.
a new
Tongo
signing,
Dumbia.
Tongo Dumbia. One like
There you
yesterday.
go. Go on, Wolfie.
All for you.
Anyone
wee.
else? That was all. Sorry, guys.
Yes. Brackets
Me
not
and
lucky.
Slavomir
Great
Pesco.
comment.
He was a good little player, to be fair. Have I changed it all? It's probably just lost the braces, to be fair, Mike. I've got a couple of wonder kids to have. Yeah. I'm not sure the team will last much longer with the current ongoings, but we'll see what happens. We were linked with Mikel Antonio earlier on in January. Would you be happy with the transfer, Matt? Thoughts on Antonio? Would you take him? Like if Wolves were linked to him today, you'd have been satisfied, no?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this season he's like proper fell off a cliff. Like he was anonymous at Wolves. He's crap with his back to goal, despite what people think. No, it depends on the terms. If it was like 4 or 5 million quid on a 2-year deal, then yeah, but it wouldn't have been. So no.
Finn, do you have had him?
Was it last season where he was like the FPL like the thing to have? The player to have. Like I feel like I've had a bit of a blind spot on him. Like I've always thought he's a good player, but then when I watched him in the game the other day, like Matt said, yeah, his hold-up play against Kilman and Collins was awful, which was something I thought he had in the locker. Maybe it was just a bit of a purple patch last year, but I suppose even since the start, like even when I remember when he was at Sheffield Wednesday or Nottingham Forest, and he absolutely battered us when he was a winger. And I've always sort of probably looked at him through rose-tinted glasses, but I'm not too gutted we haven't got him, but I don't think I'd have complained to have him as an option. Does he count as homegrown? He would count as homegrown, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Playing for Jamaica, yeah.
Yeah. I watched him a little bit against Derby, was it yesterday as well? But yeah, I think he would just bulked out the striker options a little bit too much. So yeah, and some of the risk things what if he comes and gets injured for 2.5 months.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. The so was there anyone copping a free João Gomez shirt? Well, then Dan Evans made a good point. Might get it when it's £2 at the end of the season.
It's like that Wang, that Squid
that's
Game one they did, wasn't it?
Game
Yeah,
one.
that was straight in the sale.
Yeah.
I'll try and get Bullies. I can't believe Bully didn't flipping give us an inkling that was very tight-lipped that he was in the announcement video.
And Reaper as well. They're
Yeah.
good with their NDAs, to be fair.
Yeah,
No, it'd be all
yeah.
over
I'll
the
try and
place
get Bullies
now.
one. I'll get him to sign it and put it on Talking Wolves.
So was there an ITK, if there is one, on my mix who tried to get Xavi Manquillo from Newcastle and nothing came of it.
I suppose he was never going to get a kick, was he, with Trippier? But bring Andy Keogh back.
It's another one, Matt, for you, Everton. And
He's
Dye.
been-
Wow.
I
He's
said
a
that-
good
I bet
player.
in our chat the other day, I said he's
A strike.
perfect for us.
Is he out
Everton
and out
Beyond's
striker?
go over there. Out.
He's
Nah,
not a
he's
striker. He's like,
centre mid,
he's
eh?
like a bit of an 8 or a 10.
Bit of a chicken
He's very
tikka.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a
Bizarre.
chicken tikka Mazzala. I think he's edging his bets though to see where he wants to go, but he looks quality.
I think if
I
they
think
don't
him-
go up this summer,
Him
He'll
and
be gone.
Alex Scott from Championship.
Now, Alex Scott, I saw the highlights from the weekend, and he just looks like
Class,
so good on the ball. Yeah. Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez signed till June 2031.
Yeah, another 8.5 year deal.
That's
Oh,
Mudryk was
doing it.
8.5 year deal. I think that's what they've had to do for FFP though, isn't it? To sort of
Yeah,
like
it's-
recognise
Yeah,
the
but they
deals.
can only they're putting in a
stopping
rule on
it next year, though,
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
why they've done it now.
That's why they've done it now. Yeah.
Yeah. This is I know this is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek comment, but I had a conversation, I think it was with my dad yesterday. I said, I don't think in our lifetime we'll ever see anyone beat Steve Ball's record as a goal scorer.
I
'Cause
think
you need someone to come in for at least 10 years and score 30 plus goals every year.
It's never gonna happen.
yeah.
Unless
And
we
the-
go down to like League 2 or the conference or whatever, which Touchwood doesn't happen. I don't think you'll see it.
It's you're
More-
not going to get the. Sorry, George, go on. You go.
No, I was going to say, like, there's more of a food chain now than there was when Bully broke through from so as
Yeah.
well. It's like Harry Kane stopped at Spurs for that long because they're near the top of the ended up being like £100 million player. If a chap like come through Wolves now in the Premier League and scored 30 goals in the Premier League season, we'd get offered 80-90 million quid for him straight away.
And the rest.
I just, yeah, which wouldn't happen. Yeah, he'll never
Yeah,
get touched.
You're not going to get that, in modern day. But to be fair, Bully had a lot of offers as well that he turned down. But yeah, it's a real.
Didn't
once in a
Arsenal
lifetime
want him?
thing.
Arsenal wanted him, didn't they?
I can never remember the clubs. I remember there's a few foreign
Who's that,
ones.
Steve Bull?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one that always sticks out was Torino because obviously they're the Bulls. That would have been quite funny. I remember him saying about that one, but I can't think of the other one. But yeah, you're not going to get the ability at the level that he was playing at to then not want to move and then stay there all the time. It's sad, but because I think he left the year before I was born, so I never got to see a game. But oh well.
Yeah, I never watched. I know this sounds a bit bad, George. Did you watch him?
Yeah, I've seen him a few times. My first game was 90. My first Wolves game was 1994.
For your fourth
Oh
year.
So-
my god! It was before all of us were born.
That is
Yeah,
true.
there you go.
By
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, so yeah, that was my first Wolves game. Yeah, 94.
How old had you been then?
Like 16, I think.
Did he score? Did he score when you first
I
game?
can't remember. Like I remember my first game was Sunderland at home in the snow, and it was a 1-1 draw. And my second game was Portsmouth because all I ever remember, distinctly remember it now, is just the guy at Pompey used to play the bell, didn't he? And that's all he
Yeah.
did all fucking game. All game was just this bell ringing. But yeah, my first ever Wolves top though. Going back to that, I had number 2 Jamie Smith on my back. That was my first ever Wolves top.
Jamie Smith.
Yeah, he's a right back. I think he's like assistant. Yeah, he went to Crystal Palace, like
Jamie Smith.
mid-90s. That was my first ever top. Yeah,
Jamie Smith for Wolves. Let's have a look. 48 years old, assistant
I
at
don't
Sheffield
remember
Wednesday.
my first Wolves game. I remember my first
no.
away game, but I don't remember my first Wolves game.
First Wolves game for me would have been. I don't know the exact one. I know some of the early ones, but I don't know the exact first game. I went to a 2-2 draw in Norwich. I remember I was with my granddad and Norwich had scored 91st minute to win, to go 2-1 up. and then we left the ground, and then you started hearing the old, and Leon Clark had scored an equaliser. Heard the old. Bring it back. We were going to do it for the Sondergaard termination, but I thought it was a bit.
No, that's
apparently, Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, George, assistant.
All right, there it is. With Darren Moore, then. There you
go. That Norwich game for me was probably one of the early ones. Bristol City away was my first away. We won 4-1 under Solbakken. That was my first away game. Who was yours, mate, if you remember that?
My first away game was Coventry City at the Rico.
Oh, you said this before in the pod, I think.
I think Adebola scored, and I think he might have scored twice, and I think Jay might have scored. We lost, I think.
My first away game was at the Rico as well, Coventry, around Christmas, and we lost 2-0, I want to say.
That might be. We might have been the first both.
Yeah. Both shared our first time together. That's nice.
So, how did you meet? Coventry City.
What was yours, Finn? You know yours away?
I've got a pick. Yeah, it was Stoke. I was 4 or 5, I think, because I remember it sticks out because it's the first time I'd heard the F word, and you don't really remember stuff when you were like 4 or 5. But I remember this because my dad had took me, and then I came home. I can't remember, Mum was cooking something, and she like dropped it over, and I went, "What the fucking hell was that?" Absolutely bollocks! Like, you dare use those words ever again? It really sticks out in my mind. That's what I don't know. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
So yeah, safe to say I didn't use that for a while. I've got a picture of it somewhere. Not
apparently, River Plate will get 41 million from the Enzo Fernandez deal. Their record transfer sale is 35 million. That is absolutely mad.
That was first game.
Oh my word!
Oh,
you're not 4 or 5 on that, surely. You'll be older than that.
6. Sorry, 6.
You still look older than 6 on there. New Sarabi song, "Free From Desire." Pablo's a bad man, through the middle and good out wide. He's a bit good in the start,
I'm trying to find this game, George.
Jerry
I'm trying to find it. I can't see any snow.
96 Blackburn.
Coventry 2, Wolves. I know Kenny Miller. I think we were wearing the Chaucer top.
Yeah, I think we were as well. Was it 2-2?
No, I didn't go to that one.
I'll tell you, man. Wolves Coventry. You want to search Wolves Coventry history, and it comes up.
That's what I'm on now. That's what I'm on.
11v11.
So,
it was a night game.
No, mine was a day game. Yeah, I found my game. 2006. Can I share the screen? I can't share. Oh, can I present?
When did they move to the Rico?
It was like the first season. Share screen. Let's try here. This is like technology.
You might come with us.
Right,
you go on what you need to go on, and I'll add it to the stream because it's just
here we go. There you go.
James
Scowcroft and Jolene Lescott own goal.
Wait, was that at the Rico?
Yeah. I think that was 2006. So I reckon it was the season they moved to the Rico. Possibly.
Hey, what day was that? 16th of April?
Oh, Jan 2nd. Mine was 2006.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at a different one.
Yeah.
Matt, yours was probably that 2-2 one, though.
I believe. No, I think it was.
Or it might be that one.
I think it was a 2-1 in 2007. Adebola scored and Elliot Ward. That's a Tuesday night.
Ward, flipping. We had Elliot Ward and Kevin Kyle, didn't we?
Yeah.
Elliot Ward, the striker. That's what I'm thinking of. Skinhead bloke.
No, Elliot Ward was the centre half, wasn't he?
Who am I on about then? Stephen Elliott.
Stephen Elliott. Who was the one at Ward?
Darren Ward was at Wolves, wasn't he? Darren was Elliot Ward. Yeah, they're brothers. I don't know if we had Elliot as well.
Yeah.
There used to be a great Kevin Kyle song. I can't think of the lyrics now. It's like, oh, Kevin Kyle. I can't think of the word. I literally can't. That's going to hold.
He was just a lump, wasn't he? He still works on a cruise ship. Remember that?
I can't. So yours was the 2006 one?
6 one, yeah, definitely, yeah.
and that was at the Rico.
On the 2nd of January, yeah.
So mine must have been the 2007 one.
I know a lot of people there went for the Robbie Keane debut. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Everton are shooing to go down now? They've signed. They're in a bit of a mess. I never realised they hadn't signed anyone. Losing
they'll
Gordon
go
as
down.
well. I think
I
I
think
know
they'll go
that he's
down
got
as
a bit of a stick. I think he's still a good player, Gordon. I'm not sure he's £40 million worth yet, but that's and the fan base, the toxic nature of that fan base won't help. Marlon Harewood, he wasn't so much a flop because he came on loan for half a season, got us up. To be fair,
Yeah, I'm connected with him on LinkedIn. Have it or not? Yeah.
Get him on the
It does like car rapping now.
Yeah, saw that.
That was it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that as
that's
well.
the song. Yeah. Okay.
something for a
that's
goal.
definitely the song. Yeah.
Ad Sidway, the chant king. Ad, drop it. He's got one of the best chants going at the moment. You got to drop another one, Ad.
Yeah.
I quite like that one I sent you boys on the chat about every week we follow.
Yeah. Which
So-
how did that one go again?
I'll tell you now if you bear with me. I can grab it for you. Saw it on Twitter.
I'm not sure he'll have the legs anymore. To be fair, Walker.
Um,
Sounds
So-
like that.
so it'd be every week we follow the boys in gold and black. The Batties tried to kill us, but Sir Jack brought us back. Those famous Floodlight friendlies. Hear the South Bank sing. Billy Wright's our captain and Stevie Bull's our king. Ole, ole, ole.
That one's good. To be fair.
Well, he says every Saturday I follow, but it should be every week. So, yeah. It's on Wolves_chance, that was.
Someone's just asked, are we due a classic deadline day bib impression?
Overdue.
I don't know. My throat's killing, you know.
Why is it hurt your throat when you do that? Could do a
Yeah.
Jason Guy or Liam Keane.
Oh my God.
It's been a good window though, Michael.
Can't do Jason Guy. He works for
Rival
works for what's
podcast.
name now? Always Wolves.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He's affiliated now. Yeah.
yeah.
Been a good window though, Michael.
Well, you know what? I've got to eat a bit of humble pie. I've got it right.
Oh God, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it.
Oh, brilliant.
What was Liam Keane? What did Liam Keane have to say anyway?
He's good. Yeah, he's really good. Just speaking about the transfers and that, and yeah, plugging his podcast a couple of times. So,
We actually said it on our podcast. If you want to go and have a look at it.
he has been watching though, so he's probably seen that now. So,
It's probably one for the Patreon or the OnlyFans, but I think
Oh,
Dave Adparty's got the best.
What?
No.
Yeah, he's got the best. It's the
Carla-
best one.
The Carla
Carla
Keamy
Keamy.
one. Dave, give us a bit of Carla Keamy.
No,
no,
Carl-
come on,
Carl,
lads.
Carl, you've been back at the training ground this weekend with the lads. How's that been for you?
You know, like Tony Roberts and the lads. You know, it's been really good to be back. You know, at the training ground. You know. You lot can see what we all do in our spare time. So we are quite sad, really. So
God bless the voice note feature. Oh,
oh man,
God.
yeah, brilliant. I was, you know, it's nearly 11 o'clock. It's nearly the deadline. To be fair. Oh my word, big voice crack my head. Oh. We
Oh,
need some more. Brilliant. We'll have to be. We'll be on Cameo soon. I'm sure. Talking Wolves Cameo.
but yeah, but I'll be on
Domestic
Cameo as
request account.
doing Michael Bibb.
as other people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Didn't you have to do a video message recently, Dave?
I never did it in the end. I feel
did
bad
not.
now. I forgot about that. To be fair,
You're disgusting.
he was a big fan as well. Gomez is magic. He wears a magic hat. He could have gone to Leon, but he said, "Yeah, I mean, it works."
Needs help finishing him, but I think you can say that about most of our strikers.
Yeah,
can't
that's
you?
right.
That's a good ending. Need help finishing it, but I think it could be class.
Yeah.
No.
Mm. A big
Right.
green grass.
Sing's come back with another one. Get it.
Oh, I don't-
Mario, let me love you.
Oh,
And
shit.
so, oh, let me love you. Is that?
The bow soon. Turn and play a one.
Sing Wolves at home, just thinking of any random song. Thinking, what can I do here?
He's got talent. I
You
like
will
this.
get, what's that? What's that show? You will get the balls.
Balls.
Soon.
Turn and
Turn
play
and
a
play a
one.
one.
Then the stick guitar pins.
Out of reach. We
No, I
could-
can't
oh,
see it
well.
sticking. I tell you what, these Sing Wolves though, keep putting them in. We'll sing them.
Yeah, he's been on form tonight with Chance.
Any free agents? Isco is still obviously available. I don't think Wolves will bring anyone in now on a free now.
They
I don't know
can
who's
still,
out
can't
there.
they?
They can do,
Not
but I
just
just don't. I don't think they will. I think it's similar. You got a small window where you can.
I think Isco's long gone now, isn't it? Especially now we've got Gomez and Lamina as well. There's just no space for him. I wouldn't have thought anyway.
Yeah,
Even if they
I
wanted to
thought
do
it
it.
would happen. To be fair, like when they, especially even before Christmas. To be fair, there was talk. I can't even find who's available. You've got actually it's talk of the devil. You got Vasalco,
Oh, yeah, from earlier, yeah.
Florian Torvan, Isco, Jesse Rodriguez. Don't know where he's been recently.
No,
Tyler
you don't wanna
Blackett.
sign- You don't want to
Tyler
sign Jesse
Blackett.
Rodriguez. Have you seen like he's past Jesse Rodriguez?
Yeah, I watched
Is it
the
Gallist?
health thread. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Andy Carroll's at Reading now, unfortunately.
Serbian
No,
friend.
Isco didn't go to Union Berlin. He didn't go through. They got they I think he changed his contract demands or something, and then Union Berlin said, "Just well, we can't afford it."
Union.
Union Berlin. We need to bring back the follow song back with the new signings.
Get on
I
it.
did that last-
Ad Sidaway was the bloke who got the tequila/Cunha chant going.
Yeah.
Which
What about,
everyone seems to moan about, but we're not really in a position to moan about it, to be honest. We've got we have got chants, but like the old chants never get sang anymore, do they? Like you might have once upon a time there was a tavern like once a game.
What was the one when we had first season in the Prem? What was it? We've got Johnny.
Oh, Willy Volley. Rui Patricio.
And we sang
Simon
Martinho. I actually got go for a bit, That was such a bad chance.
Now we've got his Johnny Otto, Pedro Neto.
It's like, yeah. Oh, is it Nua?
That was sick.
Dico, Bakri, Sacco. Oh. Yeah, that one going
It's a
down.
fantastic thing, don't
Flintstones.
know.
Frimpong.
Frimpong, meet the Frimpong. He's the centre of a midfield three.
Frimpong.
Was Gomez? No. Oh man, some of these are gold. João Gomez is magic. He wears a magic hat. When
That's
he
his
spoke to
early
you,
one,
and he
yeah.
said, "I fancy that." He could have signed for Lyon. He didn't because so.
Have you seen
Or
Neves'
he's
latest
just-
Instagram post
I have
What did he
not.
say?
with his missus? I mean, it's a bit. I
What
mean,
was
it's not
it?
something I would do, but
Ruben Neves.
Nah, I'll have to.
I want to
to.
spend
It's
my
just
life.
Which one was the
Logic.
Barry Douglas one? Runs down the wing for me. We sing that still now, don't we?
Ryan
Yeah.
Nednoy.
Oh, he had a bad injury at the Wolves, didn't he? So he left. Frimpong doesn't play football anymore, does he either?
Nah, I decided to stay dench instead, didn't they?
They don't all get Frimpong.
The ladies hard with the men. What do you mean by
Soft for the ladies. What do you mean? The liquidator. Yeah, that one going. Yeah, well, let me see this Neves. Who's put it on, Neves or his missus?
Yeah, there's it's like some like they've had like a
Neves.
video produced of them like just
Yeah.
like loving each other.
Oh, they're not married yet, though, and maybe it's like a promo video.
Chrome.
Watch the
Trailer.
album drops.
Yeah. It's their son's birthday. Oh, it was yesterday. Sorry.
Jordan, I hope we get one of those of you and your missus when you get married.
What, like a video competition? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like a teaser of
Yeah.
like.
Oh, a teaser of the wedding. Yeah, I don't. Surprisingly, I don't think the Wolverhampton Chronicle is going to be paying for our wedding photos. Do you? So I
Well,
might-
they will- Get your lifestyle magazine involved, you. They'll get a little social
Yeah, who
scene.
knows? People might be interested. Yeah, maybe we can sell a photo or two in a video. If not, I'll put it on here for free.
Just to let everyone know
Interested.
that Dave and I weren't invited to the wedding anyway, so I'm here to
No,
tell you
hey,
we
I'll
don't
be honest
care.
with you. Yeah, there's been no wedding invites been sent out to anyone at the moment.
The stag is still alive.
Yeah.
Heck, yeah, that ain't got over yet.
Yeah.
Are you doing? Well, where's your stag do going to be?
I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. So my mate, my mate Al's sorting out allegedly.
I'll sort him on.
But I
It's
don't
going to be a surprise for us as well. 'Cause we ain't been invited.
There you go. I don't know nothing.
Dave, where's your stag?
Don't know where it's going to be yet. Yeah. Not Benidorm. I don't know. Maybe Vegas, but I don't know if it's a bit mad. It's a bit of a mad one still. I don't know.
I mean, if you did Vegas, I'd be up for it.
Who said you're
I mean,
invited?
you marry me, so
Follow. We've got the best midfield in the world. Neves and Nunes, Lamina and Gomez. We've also got João Martino. Probably
Don't mind that.
We've got João Martino.
And we've got yeah.
The only thing with that is we do need a good song, but that's probably got a shelf life of 3 months.
Yeah.
We have Chiquinho. We have Chiquinho. How's that not long ago? Yeah.
I'd
That
seen
is what
a suggestion there about the white Pele, and then he says Ait Nuri. Is that Algeria?
Yeah, but we used to sing it about. Yeah, it's true. He's not a one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not a one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Brazilian Magnifico. He knows where his home is. Was João Gomez, and now he's one of our own. These are good
Don't mind.
suggestions.
All of them get them going.
Do you think all three of them never? I think at least one will stay.
What song's that too, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think all three of Neves, Nunes? We need. If you're gonna send a question, you need to do it in like interpretive song.
Neves and Martino are probably gone, aren't they? Like Liam said earlier.
That's priority.
From your own team, bless you.
Nice.
Oh my word! Sorry about that. Wolves were smashing the whole 3-0.
For the other comment, I think she's out of retirement. No, I think her daughter does it now.
The daughter,
From what I
we
got told,
we
yeah.
saw it every night. She get like we didn't go to see it, but she walked past that bar every night.
Sticky Vicky Jr.
Yeah. I just remember what the DJ said on that last day. Matt, shove these up, yep.
Honestly, that place.
Oh,
Who's
iconic.
better than a 40 bidder, to be honest?
Yeah. Gomez, he's Brazilian. Gomez cost 80 million. Gomez, he hates the Albion gun. Gomez, how the Wolves love. Nah, it's the last line for me. It's
Last
gotta
line.
work. It's
It's
gone.
going well though, to be fair.
And I'll drink it now. Maybe not that.
That's possibly one of the worst suggestions I've seen, Quad, if I'm honest.
Based off our own
You
player.
know, yeah,
No, who's a player that plays better when they're rattled?
uh,
All them up. Ooh.
that'd be an opposition player. We'd have to sing that for.
So there's a Stacey at Bournemouth, isn't there? Is it Jack Stacey?
Jack Stacey,
Yeah.
Jack Stacey's bomb.
Yeah, probably can't see it go. That's a shelf life of 90 minutes,
Yeah.
unfortunate.
We're running out of chance here, but I think we're running out of time as well, lads, to be honest. So,
Zaha.
respect Zaha, man.
Why don't we print some song sheets off and hand them out before the Liverpool?
I agree.
You know what's a rat lift the mood a bit. Imagine like you just like get about 1,000 copies and actually give them out to people. I wonder how many people rip them up, chuck them on the floor.
Do you remember when under the years of Jez Moxie and they tried to adapt what was it?
What was that like? Yeah, when they gave us like I remember that. It was like
Impossible
a hymn sheet.
Dream. Was it?
Yeah, no matter how hopeless, no matter how.
It's our quest to follow that one.
I remember the line was
that
no matter how hopeless.
I don't remember it.
No matter how far. Yeah, they handed it out, and it was like they adapted the words and like they were trying to get fans to sing it, but it was awful.
Oh man, yeah. Pedro Porro doing a Zorro introduction at Spurs. So,
well, just because it rhymes.
Yeah, that's what some people in this chat need to learn. You know, the impossible goal. Was that it?
I swear it was Dream the Impossible Dream, and
it's Impossible Dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Need some more Elvis, I think. That's what we need.
I think the Wonder of You before a game would be unreal.
I do as well.
Arsenal do it, dude. Yeah, do it.
Not sure, but it's
Yeah, someone said it was the cringiest moment at Molineux. M. Cooper Bites, where you go next, Mush?
I don't know, mate. I've still got a video to edit from Tap Prince and Caulfield. Spoiler, it was shit. I'm just finding the time to edit it, so I'm not sure. If I'm totally honest.
We missed out on Sutar, best thing since was he got Leicester in the end?
He's massive, isn't he?
He's injured though, isn't he?
I think he's injured for a little bit, yeah.
As Jack Grealish would say, best thing since sliced veg.
I know the Stoke fan who said like he's too good for Stoke.
Yeah.
So.
What about Nathan Collins?
He was.
I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
Respect
You leave him out of this, Matt.
Yeah.
No, but it's like we especially with our championship clubs. Like when we did the video for Daniel Bentley, and Stu came on and said Alex Scott will be playing. He'll be starting for England in the next few years. Like he's going to be good, but like I feel that championship fans, when they get like a good player, it's like, oh my god, like this, because there's such a ceiling above them that it's like, oh my god, this player won't play for Chelsea tomorrow. It's like probably not true.
But then again, one of my best mates was a Blues fan, and he was going Jude Bellingham, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then that happened.
You know what's funny about players who've got like brothers who play as well. It's like Jude's good, but apparently Job's even better.
Yeah.
It was like with the Roonies. Wayne's good, but I tell you what, was it Adam, his brother?
The ginger one. Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't Adam. I know you mean that.
Yeah, it's always apparently his brother's even better.
The
proper football club.
Yeah, proper football club, man.
Proper.
Funny shit I've heard at Wolves. So when we played Chelsea, I was thinking to John Terry. Oh boy.
They did that a lot, like with Rooney, we had the granny one, and then when the ref had given decisions, they go,
Danielle Lloyd as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a good question. One of the final questions. If you could go back, would you buy Nunes or Palhinha?
Nunes.
Yeah.
Nunes, yeah.
Yeah, probably Nunes. Why not both?
You don't. Yeah, well. Nunes. I think if.
I think
if Neves go, if Neves went, I think it might be slightly different. We'd have probably got. Well, we probably would have gone and got Palhinha as well, if not all.
Well, he was pretty much set to come to us, wasn't he? But they were dragging the reels because I think they wanted to. It had all pretty much been agreed, but I think Wolves are waiting to see what happened with Neves, and I think Palhinha was like, "What's going on?" And then because Fulham were meant to sign Matic on a free, but his wage is ridiculous. So Arco Silva asked the question, and the rest is history.
Yeah, Matt, what have you got on your hair? That's not right. It's a hairband. It's a hairband. Mate.
Get my hair back because it's quite long.
Mudryk.
Mikhailo
Mudryk.
He's in a bit of trouble as well.
What? I mean, you might know that sound on the stream, but what did he actually do? Because was it a racial slur?
It was on a TikTok. It was on a TikTok. He was singing along to a song, basically.
Oh, okay.
The N word.
Yeah. Why is George? We've had that one already, Alex. Yeah. I did think at the start, but I wasn't quick enough.
It doesn't look like dairy milk. It looks a bit like like as the Smart Price chocolate.
Yeah. Now, what's the forum? Milka.
Milka.
To be fair, I actually quite like those like the the Smart Price chocolates. I think they're up there.
They used to do them at Sainsbury's for about. They probably still do it. The big what the Sainsbury's local. It's like 20p
20p.
for a big
Yeah,
something like that.
God,
Like
I
I'd eat
thought
it all in
everyone-
like
5.
and like
We're done. Deadline.
it's not
Sorry.
just shut. It's slam shut.
Yeah,
it
I
has
used to eat it
slammed.
and eat within like 5 minutes. You have all cuts at the top of my mouth. You know, it's like the amount of crap that's in it.
yeah.
It's like my mouth used to be so sore from eating it. It's horrific. What's happened? Tom, still keep in contact with him, but he's moved to Asia. So like his time zones are all over the place, so doesn't get involved in podcasts or anything. He
Interesting.
he struggles to watch games live. To be fair, that's why he's not doing much on the Fans React either. Nuno Warnock's wife. Respect Sharon, please.
Nuno won a
Yeah.
trophy, didn't they? The weekend.
Mm.
Yeah, he did.
And held the
Tweet about
Costa.
it on Talk Wars, but yeah,
I'm not sure
that's
Dresden
all.
knows
Then,
it.
lads. No, sorry, I didn't know it.
What an evening.
That is all.
Oh, there you go.
I know it's
We've got
gone.
we've got another
Oh,
one more.
yeah. Baby cakes. Sarabia.
Sarabia, just shoot on goal,
Shoot
goal.
on
Get it wide, dip it low, low. And I just want to use really suit old gold. Working on the last bit.
You know, they're not bad. As
No,
fitting
I'll
them-
actually. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan.
single.
honestly.
Send these to the Wolfpack Howlers, and I reckon they'll make it. They're quite like they're not terrace suitable, but I think
I saw him say
Wolfpack-
before that he's got to be up for work dead early, but he just keep coming up with chance for us. So thank you for your efforts tonight.
Should we do a?
Yeah, we're calling in sick. So why can't you come in? I was on a live stream on YouTube last night.
I was ghost riding for Talking Wolves.
Yeah. I was cooking in the lab.
Yeah. let him cook.
Hold up.
Should we do a do to finish off?
Like a baby shark, or
There we go. I mean, we weren't able to bring in the signing, but we'll finish off with that. There we go. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's gone pretty quick, to be fair, considering it's been a quiet one for Wolves. But yeah, big thanks to everyone that's tuned in, dropped some comments. Obviously, Liam Keane as well for coming on the podcast or the stream today. We'll be back with a normal podcast from next week. We've got previews, probably a transfer roundup video this week as well. And be sure to join the bet, mate. The code, I'll quickly get it back up on the screen again for you lot. The code to join is there. It's free to join. WOL-LIV. Free to join. So 18 plus. Please gamble aware. Lads, it's been a pleasure. Obviously, mate, you've only been here for about an hour or so. Yeah.
Apologies, lads. I've been in London all day working, so.
Any final words from Bib?
Yeah, I mean, really, all I can say is, it's on the whole, it's been a good window. And the lads have just got to kick on now, Hopefully Lopetegui will instill a bit of confidence in them and, yeah, hopefully stay in the league.
It's merging into your Liam Keane, that is. That's what I like. No, thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. And, yeah. Jord, let's do the usual sign outs anyway. Jord, where can people find you?
So Jordra7 on Twitter and Instagram, and on the famous, the best, the LinkedIn.
Lebash. Matt.
M. Cooper writes on Twitter, Matt Cooper writes on YouTube. Put in the comments down below where George should have his stag do as well, and what the comment with the most upvotes, that's where he'll be going. Me and Dave won't be going, but
Yeah,
we'll
we will
make
be
sure
going.
that
It'll be fun to watch.
Chernobyl. Yeah, we're going to Chernobyl.
Yeah. Finn, where can people find you if they wish?
Just Finners on everything. FINERRZ. Thank you very much. It's gone quick 2.5 hours. So thank you for keeping us all company.
Yeah, and I'm Dave as a party everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Talking Walls everywhere as well. Appreciate all the support. We've hit 40k followers on Twitter, very close to 15k subscribers as well on YouTube. If you guys haven't already hit that,
nearly
subscribe
10k
button.
on Instagram as well.
And so follow us everywhere if you haven't already, guys. But enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you very, very soon.